you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Brent Venables agrees to a new 6-year contract with Oklahoma. The deal is worth $46 million. The Sooners have won 16 games in Venables' first 2 seasons as coach, and this year have a top 10 recruiting class as they enter the SEC. After trailing the Stanley Cup final 3-0, the Edmonton Oilers now try to force a Game 7. Game 6 against the Panthers tonight in Edmonton, which will be an electric atmosphere for Oilers coach Chris Knobloch and his players.
It was a party. It felt great to be out there and playing in front of our home crowd. And we wanted to do that again, something we were thinking about.
Chris Knobloch, Game 6 coverage at 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signs a bill today that would allow the state to try to lure the Chiefs and Royals out of Missouri by building new stadiums. Their current leases run until January 2031. U.S. Olympic relay gold medalist Gil Roberts gets an 8-year suspension from the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, I'll be on the NBA trade machine all weekend, which means I'll give you the trades I want to see happen this offseason. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Kendall Rogers in 15 minutes. Lance Clark, Carius Kern's head coach, 1 hour from right now. Ben Mintz in hour 3. We're talking a little College World Series. Glad to have you aboard. I would like to start actually by giving a very warm and sincere welcome to all of our dear friends in the great state of Alabama and those who are friends of the Crimson Tide. Muse, Paulie, can we please welcome our dear friends?
Welcome.
Yeah, great. We're
happy to have you.
Welcome aboard. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful. I understand, especially in light of my comments yesterday after the Elite 11, that boy, they're not happy. They were already not happy with me. Now they're infiltrating all of our goings on. So I am to understand that many of them are going to find their way here today. I'm very happy to see them all. In a strange dose of irony, all that does is help us. It helps all of our watch time and metrics and viewership and listenership and engagement and everything. So impressions. So thank you very much for being here, all of you. It's wonderful.
I was going to mention that as well. Yes,
yeah, it's a good time.
It is.
It's
Thank
a good
you.
time.
Welcome to our family.
Yes, welcome to our family. It's dysfunctional. Most families
For sure.
are. I mean, Muse is a pothead.
Not
His
necessarily
mom's named
true.
after Marilyn Monroe.
Also not true.
I mean, these are things that happen. Paul drives around in a low-riding truck with a big fleur-de-lis on the back glass. Subwoofer's going out to Central, right?
That part's true.
Absolutely.
We're just a big family here.
Yep.
Dysfunctional like everyone else is. That's all. We welcome you, all of you, donned in your, cloaked in your crimson and white. But we welcome you all. And if you're wondering, they're here because, you know what's odd? We've been doing the Bama is Burning segment bit, whatever, ever since Nick Saban left, retired. How many would you say, Paul, you have to cut all of those. How many Bama is Burning bits have we done? Ballpark it for me.
Probably 7 or 8.
You think it's that? It's only that? I thought we've done at least a dozen.
I don't think we've done that many.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so since that was in
January
or February?
January. It was right after the national championship.
Okay. So in 6 months, so we're averaging about one a month, maybe. It's funny, they think that I'm obsessed with them. Do a 3-hour radio show, and once a month. We're not. Are you looking?
Yeah, I'm looking for the exact date. Yes.
Okay. But it's so interesting how, like, what catches on. You know what I mean? Because the one that really pissed them off. I have a point, by the way. So if you're an LSU fan, I have a point that I'm going to get to with all this. The one that really got him was the Keelan Russell when they flipped him from SMU. Yeah. And I laughed at them for flipping an SMU commit. And the point being, they had Julian Sayin committed, right? Julian Sayin was the number 1 quarterback in the country. Nick leaves. Number 1 player in the country, I think. Number 1 quarterback,
definitely
for sure.
Quarterback.
And Julian Sayin leaves and goes to Ohio State. They don't sign a quarterback, and now they're flipping a kid from SMU. And my point is only, he may be a fine player. My point is that they've lowered their standard. They're doing backflips over this. Anyway, so what's his name again, the quarterback kid?
Keelan Russell.
Got it.
Keelan Russell.
Yeah, him. So he goes out to the Elite 11 and wins the MVP of the Elite 11.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, yesterday my Twitter was flooded with Alabama fans, just tattooing me because their guy, Keelan Russell, won the Elite 11 MVP. He went out there in shorts and T-shirts and threw against air, and boy, did he nail it. And so I probably should have just left it alone, but you know that is not my personality.
Can't do that.
Right, Muse?
Can't do that at all.
Yeah, so I decided to get super passive-aggressive. And I tweeted out, I'd like to congratulate Bama fans on your QB's Elite 11 MVP. What an honor. He joins past Elite MVP winners who went on to have amazing college careers, such as Julian Sayin, who left you high and dry, Cade Klubnik, Spencer Rattler, Shea Patterson, Blake Barnett, Bama legend, Sean White, no, not the snowboard guy, Asante Woolard, yes, that's a real person, Neil Burcham, Muse's personal fave,
guy,
who stuck, by the way, with his SMU commitment.
Loyal guy there.
Loyal guy. Tanner Mangum, Jeff Driscoll, Jake Heaps, don't even know who that is, John Brantley, Rhett Bomar, Kyle Wright, not the World Series champion. And then I noted a truly decorated list and clear indicator of future college football success. You should be stoked. Well, that is pushing 300,000 views on Twitter. Why don't they understand?
They don't get the show.
I need the drop. I need Poppy.
We do need Poppy.
I need the Poppy drop. You look at the show. Like,
I'm going to find the Poppy drop.
Do they not realize that I just have them on a chain and I just keep yanking it every time? And they just keep coming back for more. They infiltrated Morning Scone today.
Oh.
So for those that don't know, Morning Scone is my a live stream I do every single morning, have for 6 years. And Morning Scone is a friendly place. There's no animosity there. It's people driving their kids to school, going to work, having their coffee. It's just very friendly environment. And they infiltrated today. Some of the Bammers did, and they were starting to kind of kick the anthill a little bit. I was ignoring them mostly, but I invited them all to come here today and to go into the AFR YouTube chat, because most of the people on our YouTube chat hate me anyway. So that would actually, I think, make for this grand confluence of circumstance on the internet today. So welcome to all of you. By the way, if you're curious, because some did point out that, well, Keelan Russell beat LSU's scrub quarterback at Elite 11. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You see, because Bryce Underwood, who, Muse, remind me, I don't remember, where is Bryce Underwood in the quarterback and player rankings for 2025?
Oh, he's number one.
He's the number one quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah, and player, both.
Oh, both. He's the number one overall player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, yeah, he's been committed since January.
True.
And Bryce Underwood, the number one player in the whole country from Michigan who's committed to LSU, who said that LSU has always been his dream school since he was like 12 years old, tweeted, "I'm back home this weekend," with tiger emojis, hashtag let's go, GEAUX. Yeah, so that's why Bryce Underwood was not at the Elite 11. You see, he's in Baton Rouge this weekend. And if I'm an LSU fan, coach, player, whatever, I'd much rather have Bryce Underwood in Baton Rouge for Friday Night Lights recruiting the other top talent in the country this weekend than having him in, as Mike Detillier would say, in the pajama and slipper Olympics over there throwing against air. But good luck. I'm sure your kid from SMU is going to do fantastic. By the way, just as a little reminder, if you want to look at like the all-time quarterback rating numbers, okay, this is from 247 going all the way back to the year 2000. This is rating. This isn't 5-star. This is they assign the number, the rating. Bryce Underwood, all-time, is number 22. Quarterbacks, all-time, number 22. One spot behind Matthew Stafford, a spot ahead of Ryan Perrilloux, incidentally.
Hey.
And if you're wondering, if you're an LSU fan, like, you should be impressed. Like, I can point out some other names on this list. Paulie, pull this up if you would. Let's just have a little fun here. Number 31 on the list, Caleb Williams. Pretty good. Number one overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, all that good stuff. How about if we come up to number 44? Who do we see there at 44? Oh, Tim Tebow.
Oh, heard of him.
Heisman Trophy winner, national champion.
Two-time national champion.
Maybe as a starter once, but yes, but two-time national champion. Maybe the greatest SEC quarterback of this or any era. I mean, we could keep going far and far and far and far down this list because the list goes on and on and on and on forever. Like at number 75 is Cam Newton. He was pretty good.
Heard of
Heisman
him,
Trophy winner, national champion. So I might remind you, pick. Bryce Underwood, 22 all-time. Cam Newton, 75. We can keep going. How about J-Rock? How about Jamarcus?
Yeah. Talk about him.
Jamarcus, number 87 all-time. Tua, number 91 all-time. How about Matt Leinart, national champion, Heisman Trophy winner,
indeed.
number 98 all-time. The point being, Bryce Underwood is in front of a whole lot of really distinguished quarterbacks all-time at this point in their career. Now, he hadn't taken a snap. He's got to get to campus and stay on campus and prove it and all that stuff. But if you're going to try to sell me on the SMU flip instead of a guy that is clearly a generational type talent in his rating. By the way, Andrew Luck, number 102. Jaden Daniels, number 103. Deshaun Watson, number 104. That's a pretty good little streak they had there, right? Nice little run there. All the way in the 100s. Boy, we were fired up about Walker Howard.
Yeah.
Number 110. C.J. Stroud, 114. I heard of him.
He had a pretty good rookie year in the NFL recently.
Had a pretty good college career, too.
He did.
But Bryce Underwood said, you know what? I'm not going to go play in your pajama Olympics. I'm going to go home and recruit for my team to go try to win a natty. I'd rather that.
Me too.
Yeah. Keep your Elite 11 MVP along with the likes of Jeff Driscoll, Tanner Mangum, and Muse's favorite,
Neil Burcham.
It's all about perspective, folks. But I would like to welcome all of you Bammers who are clearly going through the 5 stages of grief. It's pretty clear that's what's happening, right?
I agree, yes.
I mean, the 5 stages of grief, don't we start with anger?
Anger.
So they're angry at me, right? Or no, is it denial?
I think
it's denial.
Denial's first.
They're all in denial.
Yes.
Oh, we're not going to fall off. Kalen DeBoer's going to win natties. We can do it without it. They're all in denial. And that's going to shift whenever he loses, maybe to Wisconsin at the beginning of the season. Wouldn't that be beautiful? And then they're going to get angry. I can't believe you. We are Kalen DeBoer. What are we doing? Blah, 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 blah. And then it goes to bargaining. And you know what happens then. Come back, Nick.
Yeah.
You got a lot left in the tank. We'll take you back. We love you, Nick. Roll damn Tide. Do you have a Harvey Updike drop over there? That's a shame. I need that. We
need that back on the button?
Yes,
okay.
we need it back on. Roll damn Tide. And then when they realize Nick's not coming back, they're going to fall into depression.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately it'll move on to acceptance. It'll happen. It'll take time. It'll take time, but it'll happen for them in due time. But take your victory lap over the Elite 11 MVP because I'm sure, hang a banner. Y'all hang banners for everything. I mean, fake championships of teams that lost 5 games, right? Dorks. All right, it's After Further Review. Show open, brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. We're planning, so I had lunch today with Dan Palmer over at Mockler Beverage. Got some great events coming up for the start of football season as well. Some more UFC events out at LeBear's. We'll have some game watches over at the Slattery at the Mockler facility. We're going to have game watches at other places as well. Planning something around the Saints-Broncos Thursday night football game, the Saints-Chiefs Monday night football game. Of course, Bud Light, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. I am late. Kendall Rogers from Omaha joins us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 amazing hotel properties. Thinking of getting out this weekend, get downtown to the Watermark Hotel. The Watermark is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property in downtown Baton Rouge. It's gorgeous. The old Louisiana National Bank building. The Gregory is the great restaurant. Thinking about having some Sunday brunch? How about you go check out Sunday brunch at the Gregory, downtown Baton Rouge at the Watermark. Right there in the lobby, sprawling open. It's gorgeous. Right there in the lobby. The lobby bar is a great place to go as well. They have their wood or their charcoal oven right there at the Gregory in the lobby. So as you walk through, all those beautiful scents waft through the entire lobby. It's great. It's the Gregory inside of the Watermark, downtown Baton Rouge. And if you're thinking, I don't know that I want to go downtown because I don't want to park downtown and all that stuff, when you're eating at the Gregory, there's complimentary valet parking. So just pull right up. The valet will take your car, and it's totally free to do that. It's downtown at the Watermark Hotel. Renaissance on Southtown, Watermark downtown. It's the Watermark Hotel.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously, been a great week. Excited for the 12th man. Looking forward to the number of Aggies that are going to roll in town here. It's always special, and super excited for our players. They've earned this opportunity. As you know, we've been through a lot throughout the course of the year, as all teams have that have made it this far, and just ready to play. 2 off days is great, but we're ready to get back on the field, so looking forward to practice today.
Third time in the last 4 years, an All-SEC final up at the College World Series. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, is there. He's going to have to join us now. We'll talk a little portal and a little College World Series. Hey, man, how are you?
I am doing well. I've reached that point in Omaha where, I love it, but I would not be sad if this is a very quick series.
It always kind of goes that way, right? Like, you love it,
Yeah.
but there comes a point when you're ready to be home, living out of a suitcase.
I will tell you this. I got to give LSU fans credit. This was the LSU team hotel here at the Hilton last year. This thing was an absolute party every single night. A&M and Kentucky stayed here, and it's been pretty subdued. So I kind of miss the LSU fans here.
Do you so do the restaurant and bar owners? Do you have a sense of which fan base is better represented there, A&M or Tennessee, or which will be for the series?
I do not. I'll know more tonight because my family's actually coming up today. So
cool.
We'll be in Noel Market and we'll get a kind of a sense of what it looks like. My hunch here would be it's going to be pretty close to 50-50. Both these teams have never won a national championship. They're obviously both very big fan bases. So I think it's going to, whereas usually I feel like there's one team that kind of dominates the crowd. I think this is going to be kind of a Texas OU Cotton Bowl feel where it's going to be split right down the middle.
Which, when I look at A&M, Kendall, the injuries are such a major storyline and what's happened to them here in the postseason. Which injury would you say is most significant with respect to this championship series?
What's funny is it's an injury of a guy actually playing, and that's Jace Lavalette. I think if you look at the fact that he's really nursing that hamstring, there's a hit in the game the other day against Florida where the Florida guy hit it about the warning track, and he got almost to the warning track, and he pretty much gave up on the ball because he didn't want to dive or extend for the ball. So I think that injury to me really stands out. I mean, obviously they lost Braden Montgomery, but I mean, if you look at Caden Kent, his replacement, the guy that's replaced him in the lineup, he leads their team in hitting in Omaha at 500 batting average. So he's done a really nice job. So I just think Jace Lavalette and their ability to keep him somewhat healthy here, is really a big key. And frankly, what's kind of interesting to kind of make this LSU related is, Jared Mitchell, if you remember back during that Omaha run that he had with LSU, they had to use kind of a TheraBand thing with his hamstring. They're essentially doing the same exact thing with Jace Lavalette in his finals that the LSU had to do with Jared during that Omaha run.
That's a good memory. I'd forgotten about that. I mean, that's been a while, but yeah, that was certainly a storyline then. Who has the advantage on the bump?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Tennessee just by a hair, at least in terms of starting rotation. I think in terms of the bullpen, I still like A&M. I mean, I love what Chris Cortez has done for the most part. Obviously, Evan Ashenbeck's been really good. And Josh Stewart the other night, I mean, his slider was, anywhere from 82 to 84 with spin rates over 1,000. So he was awesome the other day against Florida. So I would say Tennessee in terms of rotation, A&M in terms of the bullpen.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Both these teams are vying for their first national championship, as you mentioned. Which team program would it mean more to kick that door in?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, obviously both of these teams are both trying to win a national championship. You look at what Tennessee's done over the last few years. You look at what A&M's done over the last few years. Both those teams I think would be equally happy. But I think if you're A&M, I mean, you look at their men's programs at the highest level, and I mean they haven't won a national championship in a major men's sports since 1939. So I would say for A&M, really.
Yeah, we've been knocking that around this week, Kendall. It's like, from an LSU perspective, who would you rather see win? That's like the lesser of two evils. Quite honestly,
yeah.
I keep saying, I mean, A&M people are just nice. Tennessee's program, they're like they have the whole reputation of being the bad boys. They're kind of jerks, and Vitello has that sort of that attitude. Whether it's fair or not, it's sort of the perception, and I kind of feel okay for A&M people if they were able to get through it. What do you see as the path forward for both these teams to win, Tennessee and Texas A&M individually?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for Tennessee is I think if they continue to play they have so far in the College World Series, it's hard to see them losing. So I think just keeping up that same level of play, I think getting up on A&M early is going to be key, because I think A&M is one of those teams. I don't see them fighting back offensively as much as Tennessee, can, so to speak. So I think getting up on A&M early, and I think for A&M, I think the biggest key for them is if they can keep this game close, go into the middle innings and be able to turn that thing over Chris Cortez, be able to turn that thing over to Evan Ashenbach, their chances of winning go up exponentially. So I think that's the biggest thing to keep an eye on for both those teams, just A&M's ability at the back end of the bullpen to shut that offense down.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball on Twitter, at Kendall Rogers, College World Series finalist, an all-SEC affair, third time in the last 4 years. Hey, let me get a couple in here if I can for the portal. Just your takeaway so far on the portal haul that Jay Johnson and LSU have been able to score so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, the Mount St. Mary's kid has really good numbers. I mean, I think if you look at, the different pickups they've had, it's been pretty impressive. What's been really interesting to me isn't necessarily what these teams have done. It's the lack of just superstars that have been in the portal so far. If you look at the portal, I mean, last year at this time, think of all the guys we were talking about that Jay had a chance at, that Tennessee was going after, that A&M was going after. We just haven't seen those huge names so far. And I'll be curious to see if that changes over the next couple of weeks as we get to that deadline. But, so far, LSU and Georgia are the two schools that really stand out to me that are doing pretty good portal evaluations.
Gavin Killen is sort of the big fish in the pond left, the shortstop from Louisville. I know he visited Tennessee, he's visited LSU, visited Vanderbilt. My understanding is he's going to wait for a visit to College Station. You have any insight on what his motivators are and what he may be thinking right now?
I had heard, and trust me, transfer portal stuff can change within like an hour.
Yes.
Because I remember when Braden Montgomery was like dead set to go to Mississippi State, and Mississippi State fans were actually just wearing me out on Twitter because I said it's not a done deal in Mississippi State. What happens at 24 hours later ends up at Texas A&M. So, I think the biggest thing for me with Keelan is I've heard Tennessee quite a bit on this one just because of the location. But it wouldn't surprise me where he ends up. He's a super talented player, and frankly, we'll have kind of the pick of the litter.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, again on Twitter, at Kendall Rogers. Y'all give him a follow. He's up there for the College World Series. Enjoy the rest of the time. Glad you get some family time as well, man. We appreciate you for joining us, as always.
See ya.
Be well. Bye. That's Kendall Rogers. This is After Further Review. We'll see. We don't want to give a follow-up thought there. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Always encourage you, man. Check out Michelli Weighing and Measurement at the website, of course, on LinkedIn as well as Facebook. They do a great job of updating all of their different locations, different materials, and things that they may be expanding and how they're expanding. For example, they posted a picture today on their social media of their mobile calibration lab. So I mention this all the time to you. Maybe you work at a facility where the precision measurement equipment you have can't leave your facility. Well, if that's the case, call Michelli. They have their mobile calibration lab. They can come to you. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. The more this thing goes in the portal, and Kendall's right, there's been a general lack of really big-name star power in the portal. But Baseball America yesterday did put out their list of the top 20 players in the portal, and 3 of the top 20 are currently committed to LSU. We'll see what happens with Gavin Killen. I think Kendall called him, I think he said Killeen is how he said his name, Kilen. But he's the number 1 player in the portal. He's a shortstop and visited Tennessee for their regional weekend. He's visited LSU. And listen, you come visit LSU with everything that LSU has to offer, and Jay Johnson making his pitch. And if you leave without a commitment, that's generally not a good thing. It's not to say it's off the table, but if Tennessee and Texas A&M are 2 schools he's considering. They're playing for a national championship. Both have really big NIL budgets. It would stand to reason one of those is probably the favored landing spot. I don't know what else LSU could offer at this point that the other 2 schools couldn't, right, if he's waiting for them. But what's more interesting to me is if you don't get Gavin Killen or Killeen, what's your next option? And your next best option is probably Michael Braswell. And Braswell, as I understand, is sort of a back of the draft, end of the draft type guy, borderline draft pick. Does he even hear his name called? So what would be really, because look, you could go hit the portal, but is anybody you get out of the portal going to be a better option than a guy that just started an entire season for you at shortstop and hit over 300 in conference play who would be coming back for a senior year. I don't think so. But if Braswell's an end-of-the-draft guy who as a junior might get, say, $100K, could you put together an NIL package that makes it worth his while to come back for another year and then take next year whatever he gets, wherever he gets it in the draft? Cole Freeman was in studio with us on Wednesday, and he kind of told that story. He was a 18th round pick of the Dodgers after his junior year and was offered over $300,000. Passed on it to come back to school, played his senior year, was a fourth round pick of Washington. And he told us he got less than half that number. He got about $150K, which was less than half that he would have gotten the year before as an 18th round pick. So it doesn't matter where you go. If you're a senior sign, then it's just a team. You're going to take whatever team gives you. So for Braswell, I think it would be a question of, do you want to run it back one more time, try to win at LSU, or are you ready to go get your pro career started, whatever that means? And if LSU doesn't get Gavin Killen, then Braswell's probably your next best option, barring something unforeseen with another player jumping in the portal. But we'll continue to follow it as it goes. All right, it is After Further Review. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. No Terrio today. The Terrio girls are playing in like a marquee soccer tournament, I think down in Tampa. So Ryan's down there cheering on his daughters, and we wish Macy and George the best of luck. So Terrio will be back with us. Next Friday, I'm actually out. I'm on vacation next Friday, so it'll be a few weeks before we got the Riot Radio hours back. Lance Clark in 30 minutes. That is Carius Kern's high school coach, the big offensive line commit LSU got a day ago. We'll talk to Lance Clark 30 minutes from right now. Mincy, 90 minutes from right now. A ton to do. Glad you're here. Around the SEC is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. You know where to find them, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Y'all, we're hitting triple-digit temps now. Heat indexes. It is oppressive outside. The last thing in the world you want to do is have your home central AC go out. So if you're having issues, call River City's 1 Hour Air. It's Friday. We're heading into the weekend. Remember, nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out and never charge you extra to come out. Arnold Robinson sent this 5-star review. Joseph arrived at my home, introduced himself, immediately went to work. He was very thoughtful and detailed in his explanation of my problems and options for the repair. He is always welcome to return as the service provider at my home. Another 5-star review for River City's 1 Hour Air. Give him a buzz. 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Monkey ain't got no sense. Little bitty monkey jumped on the ground. Little bitty monkey just stole my crown. Little monkey, little monkey, little monkey, little monkey's getting drunk.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
That's Tommy G and stormy weather. Tonight is the night. Eagle 98.1. The Battle of the Bands presented by Parish Construction and Roofing. Really fired up for it, man. One of these bands is going to win an opportunity to open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd on July 13th at the River Center. I'll be over there at the Texas Club tonight. Invite you to come on out. Of course, the Rockstar Search Battle of the Louisiana Bands presented by Parish Construction and Roofing. We were thrilled to be a part of this to help promote local music and these local bands and give them the opportunity of a lifetime. So we'll be out there. Doors at 7. First band starts at 8 over at the Texas Club. $20 at the door. Hope to see plenty of you there tonight. Real quick, Kendall Rogers was with us in the last segment, and we talked a little of portal stuff and College World Series. One of the things Kendall tweeted last evening was another player that hit the portal, and it's a catcher. His name is Connor Harrison. By the way, his nickname is Bear. And there you go, Muse.
I like that.
Well, you may not have to retire the Bear gift just yet on
I'd
Twitter.
have to find a different one, though.
Fair enough. You do you. But so Connor Harrison just finished his freshman year at St. Mary's, the Gales out in California, the West Coast Conference. And he entered the transfer portal yesterday, 6'3". He hit .322 last year as a freshman with 8 homers, 36 RBI. He had a .951 OPS. His brother is Kyle Harrison with the San Francisco Giants. So good pedigree. His brother's a big leaguer already. And he's a guy, and by the way, I was told last evening that LSU has already made contact. So I want to be clear whenever we talk about this. And I don't mind sharing information, but I feel like sometimes information gets misconstrued. I am not telling you that he's committed. I'm not telling you he's leaning to LSU. I'm not telling you it's a done deal. Any of the sort. What I'm saying is LSU has interest. And I think part of that, and they've made contact, and I think part of that tells you what they're thinking as far as continuing to build the roster. Meaning, Blaze Priester is set to be very likely your starting catcher next year. We're all crossing our finger, holding our breath, waiting on the draft to see what happens with Cade Arambidi, who, before his senior season was a projected first-round draft pick. He's out of the Houston area. Didn't hit as well in his senior year as maybe he would have liked, and now he's viewed sort of as a third or fourth-round pick, so he probably ends up on campus. But you hold your breath. You never know. Well, you're going to need another option. And we've talked about Luis Hernandez from Indiana State, who has caught at times in his career, and that doesn't really seem – and Eddie Yaman from Dayton, who's caught – clearly, those guys don't seem like they're options at catcher for LSU. So you need another guy, and this could well be him, Connor Harrison, an all West Coast Conference freshman from St. Mary's, who's in the portal. Could be another big bat as well, but one to keep an eye on as LSU is looking for another catcher here in the portal, and it could be Connor Harrison. So, by the way, maybe Bear Harrison. Would Bear?
That didn't roll off the tongue as well, though, man, as Bear Jones. That was strong.
Jones is a monosyllabic. Bear and Jones are both monosyllabic words. Harrison is it's polysyllabic.
Yeah. I think we'd have to go full Connor Bear Harrison there. I don't think you can just go Bear Harrison.
Or just go Bear.
Or Bear. That's, yeah. I don't know. If I had to find another gift, I'd find one. We'd make it happen.
I'd just say you just run it back with the same one. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than anybody wearing the same jersey number.
That's true.
Passing it forward. I mean, there's no reason to retire it. If it's good, roll with it. Now, I think your little bear gift is silly.
I know you think that, but
I would never use it if I were you.
I think it's fun. I like it.
But you do you.
Yeah.
I love Kevin from The Office, the laughing gift.
That's a good one.
That's my favorite gift. I love these.
Really? Of all gifts, that's your favorite gift?
Interesting. It's by far the one I've used the most.
I mean, you use it a lot, yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
My favorite one. All right. It's after further review. Okay, let's go around the SEC. Let's do it. Hit it, Muse. Let's go. Here we go. It's time.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn flipped 4-star running back Alvin Henderson. Alvin! It'd be good if we'd had that drop. Sometimes I think of these things live on the fly.
Sometimes it's not feasible. Like the 2 drops we talked about in the first segment, already went and got them.
Yeah.
That one, I had no.
Can you play it? Play one of them. Play Poppy.
You don't get the show.
It's a total ripoff of Levitar, but I don't care. It's just so perfect.
It is.
I just want to use it for all of the Bama people right now. Alvin Henderson, a 4-star running back out of Elba, Alabama. He's flipped from Penn State to Auburn. He is the number 8 running back in the country, top 150 overall prospect for the class of 2025.
The Missouri Tigers.
Wide receiver Sean Terry has committed to Mizzou. He's a 3-star. Sounds like a great Bama wide receiver. A 3-star out of Ohio. Hit it, dude.
You don't get the show.
You have to turn on your mic. You're going to laugh.
Sorry, I'm
you
sorry.
You have to turn on your mic if you're going to laugh.
I thought you'd roll through
it.
It's
an auditory medium.
I know that.
Hey, let's do it again. No.
You don't get the show.
Hold on. Here we go. Hit the Missouri Tigers drop.
Oh,
damn it.
The Missouri Tigers.
I don't read minds, Matt.
The Missouri Tigers.
Wide receiver Sean Terry has committed to Mizzou. He's a 3-star out of Ohio. Seems like a Alabama wide receiver there.
You don't get the show.
There we go. Paulie loves it too, can't you tell? 5'10", 165, chose Mizzou over Michigan and Notre Dame. He's the 74th best wide receiver in the country.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
A New Mexico State transfer running back, Jamani Jones, has committed to Vanderbilt. Can't imagine why. I guess going to play somewhere. Jones is, how about this? Top 35 portal class for Vandy.
Yeah.
They do have 22 players.
They have a lot of guys.
Class, maybe that's why.
The Florida Gators.
Couple of baseball notes. Gators got a commitment from outfielder Kyle Jones. One of the most sought-after players in the Sorry, Paulie. Oh, man, I just buzzed the tower right there. I almost hit him right in the head with that one. It's a good thing you were leaning over to that screen. I almost hit you right in the head with that one. I need to refocus and get this thing going. Anyway, he was an A-Sun player of a freshman of the year. Hit 346 this past season. He's headed to Florida.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Kentucky baseball's Lucas Schramm and Drew Lafferty are entering the portal. Schramm had a broken hamate bone in the summer of 2023, the Warren Morris injury. Only had 21 at-bats this past season. Lafferty redshirted in 23, came back, pitched in 8 games for 21 innings this past year. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're presented by Parrish Restoration, parrishbuilt.com. Mold Zero, Pure Restoration, Parrish Restoration, all the same thing. They rebranded and now have since merged with Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley, my partners over at Parrish. Full disclosure, I am not a partner in the restoration side, just in the name of full disclosure. But it's the same exact process. It's the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's just all now under the Parrish umbrella. So if you want to kill mold or remove odor for a residential or commercial building, a residential building, a home, single-family home, they could have you done in half a day. They come in, you don't have to cut sheetrock or pull up carpet or move stuff out of your house. I mean, it is non-toxic and it is a dry fog. So it's not going to get anything wet in your home. They'll spray the fog. Because it's a fog, it gets into every nook and cranny. It kills mold and other harmful pathogens. It will kill odor-causing bacteria as well to give your home a fresh scent as well. It's it's Parish Restoration. Old habits die hard. Parish Restoration, parishbuilt.com. Hit the restoration tab, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Saints center Eric McCoy was a guest on New Orleans with Nick Underhill over at neworleans.football and talked a little bit about this offseason. Want to get to that. And in 16 minutes, Lance Clark, high school coach for Carius Kern, he'll be here as well. We're looking forward to it. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Weekend's here, y'all. If you're going to be hanging out this weekend by the pool, relaxing, laying low, throwing something on the grill, you're going to want to get to Rouse's. You want an ice chest full of cold beer out by the pool? Get by Rouse's. You want some steaks or some fish to throw on the grill? Get by Rouse's. You want lots of treats for the kids, if it's the popsicles or the ice cream cones or any of that stuff, get by Rouse's. Or maybe you're just doing your weekend grocery run like so many people are, like we always do on the weekend. Get by Rouse's. Go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. You can find the location nearest you. There's nearly 70 locations. From Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, points in between. So even if you're heading toward the beach this summer vacation, you'll probably find a Rouse's somewhere along that I-10 corridor. They got their crazy 88-cent sale going on right now. I mean, just dozens and dozens and dozens of items that are priced at just 88 cents right now, from Rouse's coconut water to the Andy Cap fries to Gain dish liquid. It's all great. Great prices right now at Rouse's. This feels like home.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Find the truth in me. And how long will it take before you see that I feel tonight? Like letting go of all the things I've held inside.
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
That is Leif Mesh, one of the 5 contestants in the Battle of the Bands tonight to open up for Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Looking forward to being out there. Hope to see y'all. Doors at 7. First band starts at 8. We'll have a winner. Someone tonight will find out who'll be opening up for Kenny Wayne Shepherd July 13th out at the River Center. Eric McCoy is an interesting character in this offseason for the New Orleans Saints because the biggest questions around this team outside of Derek Carr, of course, are on the offensive line, where you only have 2 starters returning and one of them Cesar Ruiz. So Eric McCoy is a really key part of this offensive line. And, during the offseason, it's always like talking season. And Eric McCoy was meeting with the media and talked a little bit about Derek Carr. Here's what he said.
He's an awesome person. He's so football smart that it's crazy. I'm really excited to keep working with him through the rest of these OTAs, through camp, and into the season.
Little more from Eric McCoy about Derek Carr?
I think it's just his football smarts. Like I said, he's super intelligent, sees things all over the field, and calls them out with ease.
And one more about, that all sounds really good when you're talking about glowing and complimentary. One was you're learning guys on this offense as well, on the offensive line.
It's been good. It gives me an opportunity to get to learn everybody better, not just as a player, but as a person. Learn their tendencies, how they communicate, and all those things. So, when the inevitable happens in season, I'll have familiarity with those guys.
There's one caveat I would like to throw out in playing that audio from Eric McCoy. And I don't mean to be deceitful, but that was from June of 2023. That was a year ago. That was this time last season. Point being, when you hear what I'm about to play for you, which is now Eric McCoy with the guys over at NewOrleans.football today, going into this season, you're going to hear a lot of the same stuff because it's kind of what people do in June. Here was McCoy on the new offense with Kubiak.
Well, I'll just start off saying I don't want to be the guy to overhype things because I've done things like that in the past, but I can say that I am very excited about it. And it's been longer than 6 to 8 weeks, it feels like. Because, OTAs was, 5 weeks? But even before that, we were getting in consistent walkthroughs, consistent meeting time. And I think Coach Kubiak did a really good job of making sure that we understood the basis of the offense. But I think it's something that can be really special.
He was also asked about Trevor Penning. And a lot of us are looking at this as a new opportunity for Trevor Penning, new offense, moving to the right side, all the stuff we know, but McCoy's the veteran on that offensive line, and here's what he said about the third-year pro.
So, yeah, I'm excited for him, too, and I'm excited for what this offense can do for his career and his trajectory because I think, truthfully, what happened last year was hard.
Yeah.
You were injured your entire first year. You missed out on a ton of development time. Your second year, you come in, you play 4 games. Your first game, you struggle. I get it. You're coming off injury. It's hard. And just the mental challenge of having to get back into that, I would say that he's in a good space right now. And I think moving to right and the confidence that this new coaching staff is instilling in him can change the trajectory of his career.
I hope he's right. I sincerely do. We talk a lot of Saints here, and over the last 12 months, not a lot of it has been positive. For kind of obvious reasons, right? There just hasn't been a lot of positive things to say unless you're just sunshine pumping. And I guess where I am with this, and I can appreciate Eric McCoy saying the new offense can be special and that Trevor Penning has an opportunity to change his career. And I think there's some validity there. And trust me, I don't want to sit here and hear the most veteran player on the Saints offensive line, which is the biggest question mark position on this team. I don't want to hear him say, man, we stink. So it's like, what do you want? Of course, I'd rather hear him say, and in a more measured way, like you heard him say there, that he's hopeful and optimistic and thinks that they can be special and Penning can revive his career. And you want that from a competitor. But I'm at the point with the Saints now where I don't want to hear any more talk. And listen, that's going to sound stupid. I'm in a talk medium, and I understand that. And these guys have media obligations, and I'm glad that they are speaking to the media and being available. So don't misunderstand me from that standpoint. Yes, of course I want them physically to do it. Maybe a better way for me to say it is, I'm not going to be moved anymore by anything anyone on this roster says. I'm only going to be influenced by what I see. And it's almost like any kind of relationship, whether it's a spouse or a friend or a roommate or anything. Like, at some point when things go awry, actions ultimately are going to speak louder than words. If your roommate or your spouse has a gambling issue or an alcohol addiction or something like that, or they're drinking, they can tell you, oh, it's going to be different this time, I'm going to stop, whatever. And trust me, I'm not making light of any of those things. They're very real. But my point is, I think everybody at some point, maybe those aren't great. Maybe I can just talk to you about like my wife and her Amazon addiction, because every day we have Amazon packages at the front door. Like, you can tell me you're going to stop, but at some point, you got to show me. I got to see it and believe it. And that's where I am with the New Orleans Saints. I got to see Trevor Penning be great. I need to see Derek Carr be consistent. I need to watch and see this offense be special. I got to see Dennis Allen make the right decisions in big moments and coach up his team the right way. Because everything I've seen to this point doesn't give me confidence there. So I'm hopeful. Can't say that I'm optimistic. Show me. All right. SportsCenter next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, go where Baton Rouge and really all of Louisiana has gone to get engaged for 40 years. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. Or guys, maybe you have an anniversary coming up. And man, this is a great option. At Lee Michaels, you can exchange, trade in that old diamond, that old ring for an upgrade. Why not? We've all been there. You generally, if you're young and you get married, then you grow up, you grow on in your career, you start doing a little better. Maybe you can afford something more. But you take that old diamond and upgrade it for her. Bring it into Lee Michaels. Let them give you a valuation on your current diamond. Trade that in. Maybe upgrade, improve to something bigger, better, and nicer. Great anniversary gift or a just because gift. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all. Check them out online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Oklahoma is ready to join the SEC, and today football coach Brent Venables gets a new 6-year, $46 million contract. His deal now runs through the 2029 season. The Oilers and Panthers play Game 6 in the Stanley Cup Final tonight in Edmonton. Oilers captain Connor McDavid with 8 points in the last 2 games. He needs 3 more to break Wayne Gretzky's record of 13 points in the final. As for Florida, an update from ESPN's Emily Kaplan.
They are going to make some lineup adjustments. Nick Cousins is coming in the lineup on the 4th line. They added Ryan Lomberg last time. Those are both energy, good vibe guys. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson's going up to the top power play unit. That's a response to them allowing 2 shorthanded goals the last 2 games.
Emily Kaplan, the call of Game 6 at 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. Avalanche center Andrew Cogliano is retiring after 17 years in the NHL. He'll move into the Colorado front office in player development and scouting. Cogliano was traded to the Avs 2 years ago just in time to join the team for their run to the Stanley Cup.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, you know I'll be on the NBA trade machine all weekend, which means I'll give you the trades I want to see happen this offseason. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tompley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Our guy Barstool Mintzy, Ben Mintz, will be here 1 hour from right now. We'll give our picks on the College World Series final. LSU landed a massive commitment on Thursday from the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country, Carius Kern. And if you saw this video that's been floating around the interwebs, it kind of speaks volumes about the type of athlete LSU landed. It's a video Kern posted of himself doing a cartwheel into a backflip. Dude is 6'4", 315, doing a cartwheel into a backflip. It's ridiculous. I just shared it on Twitter if you want to check it out. Anyway, the guy who, believe me when I say, has had the pleasure of coaching Carius Kern at Marion High School's Lance Clark, who's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes now. Coach, it's a pleasure. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Man, I'm good. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing awesome. People here are really excited about this commitment. Tell me about this cartwheel backflip video. What kind of, I mean, this says a lot, right? But what kind of athlete is he?
Yeah, he probably did. You know, when he had that video, he had a little bit of an ankle deal. You know, he can do standing front flips, standing back flips. You know, we're up here near Memphis, so every kid likes to flip, you know, and so he can really get after. Yeah, he's a special athlete. He's 6'4". He's really about 6'5", 6'4", 5'8", 6'5", 1'8", depending on shoes and no shoes. And can flip, can run. Yeah, he's a special athlete for sure.
It's always interesting when you look at guys like this at the high school level. When you're 6'4", 6'5", 315, you're so much bigger than everybody else. And you weren't maybe you were always that big, but how is his high school career gone? Like, now he's obviously what he is. Was he always, like, from freshman year on, like, is he always this big and just and dominant?
No, no. His journey was, so he was smaller when he was little, and he didn't really play football. He didn't really start playing football in earnest till ninth grade. He didn't play offensive line until his 10th grade year. He was just kind of a kid running the halls. He thought he was, he played with his friends as a receiver, tight end, and how kids do. Not a lot of kids grow up and you're like, man, I really would love to be an offensive guard.
Right.
That's not really the thing, but he's had a really long his journey. He came freshman year and he doesn't know much. He didn't really want to play offensive line, didn't really want to play football. And then sophomore year, big improvement. Junior year, even bigger improvement. He didn't get in the weight room until this past off season for the first time. So he's really late bloomer. So that's why he comes on the recruiting scene a little later. And, if we had probably pushed him out there earlier, more stringently, it'd probably been a higher prospect. Because, honestly, I've done this 16 years. He's about as good of an athlete as I've ever coached.
That's an interesting path, right? To have not played football really until his 9th grade year or even into 10th grade. When did you know, okay, he's special?
Well, we knew he was physically special so I came to Marion when he was in 9th grade, and I see this kid, kind of standing on the sidelines. I'm like, why is he on the sidelines? This kid does not need to be on the sidelines. He's got to be playing. And he wasn't really he had just kind of got out there, hadn't done a whole lot. And so athletically, we knew he was special pretty immediately. His sophomore year, if you look at his sophomore tape, he's, as an offensive lineman, his first year playing it, so he's making all sorts of mistakes. He's not getting his head in there. He's not playing into his size. He was playing like a big, long athlete, not a guy who weighs 300 pounds. And he's starting to come into that. So we knew pretty early on, but we knew that when it was coming, we wanted him to be ready. It's not about just getting the scholarship offer. That's something we talk about a lot here. It's about succeeding once you're there and reaching your potential. And so, he's kind of on the right track. And so we knew early on, for sure, but we'd like to, keep pushing. He's getting better every day, and so the recruiting process really actually helps with that.
Lance Clark is our guest, the Marion High School head coach there, coaches Karis Kern there in Arkansas. When I was watching some of the highlights that you mentioned, this happens a lot in high school, right? You put your best lineman at left tackle. Is he a guy that you think could play tackle, or is he strictly an interior player at the next level?
So it's been interesting listening to all these colleges coming. The first thing that's interesting is I've never had a lineman who the Power Fives and the SECs, Georgias and Ole Misses and, every, LSU and everybody's like, yeah, offense or defense. That's really unusual for a lineman at that level that they can do that. He didn't have a whole lot of defensive clips. And then some people are saying, well, he's a little shorter for an exterior offensive lineman, but his athleticism is so good that a lot of people like him as a tackle. I know Brad in particular likes him there, but that Brad likes that he can move him in, move him out. Missouri was the same way. Pretty much everybody was like, well, he can kind of do either because, yeah, he may be an inch or two short for what we're looking for in tackles, but he's got 6'6" to 6'7" wingspan, and he runs under a sub-4 940 at 320 pounds. It's unusual with that athletic in the modern game to be able to kind of work those edges against really fast speed rushers that the SEC has. It's something that I think a lot of people like, but certainly he can move inside, and he doesn't have an issue with that.
You mentioned Brad, of course, Brad Davis, and I read some of the quotes that Carey's had in his commitment, just talking about the relationship there. Can you elaborate a little, because we hear a lot about Brad Davis, but none of us are in any of those recruiting meetings. What does he do so well in those recruiting meetings?
Brad relates to the kids on a real
Oh, wait, hang on. We lost you. Let's see. Pick up real quick, Muse. I want to make sure we get him there. That's an important part. All right, we're going to call him back? Okay, great. All right, Muse is going to call him back. I think his phone just dropped. What a moment for the phone to drop. All right, we'll circle back. Quick reminder about Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You're hitting the road this weekend, heading toward the beach. Make sure you get to Shaw Bills first. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You can shop tires online. You can schedule service online. Of course, need a tire rotation. Brakes are squeaking, oil change. They've got you covered like they have since 1968, and they always treat you like family. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. With 18 locations, find the location nearest you, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, we have Coach Clark back. All right, your phone dropped just as you said the thing Brad does so well is, and then boom, the phone went out. So if you could pick it up there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so Brad does so well is he relates to the kids. Him and Carius have a similar background. He was able to relate to them. And he also didn't sugarcoat anything. He didn't say, hey, come here. This is the best thing. This is all fun and games, and, you're going to get to play. He says, you come here, it's going to be hard. And I think that challenge, really speaks to the high-level competitors that places like LSU end up getting, is you want guys who want that challenge. And Brad really puts it in front of him and says, this is going to be hard, but you come here. And he talks about a development plan, and he's consistent with it. And LSU does such a good job of laying out kind of structurally, not just by word, structurally, like how they're going to develop his body nutritionally, how they're going to help him academically, how they're going to help him ultimately get to the NFL, and what does that look like at LSU. And Brad did a really good job being consistent with that. And, Carius just loves Brad, and obviously that's a major piece to how he ultimately ended up at LSU.
Any interaction or relationship there with Brian Kelly?
Yeah, well, he was with Brian Kelly at just a couple of times, when he was down on campus. He was only been down to LSU once or twice now with the official visit. The first time he actually was committed to Arkansas, so Brian Kelly's got a kind of standing rule about I don't really talk to kids that are committed. He still came up and at least said some words. He said he'll talk to him. But, so then he gets to go over and see Kelly at the official visit. And, he likes Brian Kelly a good bit. And, obviously, in the coaching community, we all have a lot of respect for Brian Kelly and how good of a coach he is and how good that, the players and the teams he puts out. And so, but, he's excited to get to kind of know Brian Kelly more and kind of fostering that relationship.
Got a couple more for you here. Lance Clark is our guest, head coach there, Marion High School, coaches Carius Curran, LSU's newest commitment. We've talked about the athleticism and all of that. What would you say is an area where Carius still needs work?
Oh, he's a raw product as far as technically. I think most people come in and say he can help right away on the defensive line just because of sheer size and athleticism, and you can rotate that spot a little more. As far as the defensive line, he's only played the position, or offensive line rather, he's only played the position 2 years. And he's got to get cleaner in his pass sets, and he's got to get cleaner on his hand placement. And it's just a lot of technical pieces that, he's really, really taken seriously this offseason. I expect a major jump for him going forward in that way. But he can get cleaner in those ways and playing through his hips and with the shoulders a little more. As big and strong as he is not even close to what he's able to play, which is good news because the SEC D linemen are a lot better than high school offensive defensive linemen here in Arkansas. And so he can get better on the fine tuning of what he can do. And believe it or not, his athleticism and body can get a lot better in a true nutrition program versus just kind of the best he can do. And I think that will kind of maintain it.
Exciting to hear for sure. Last thing, maybe should have led with this, but can you tell us about the kid, Carius Curran, the person?
Yeah, he's a great kid. I love Carius. Our coaching staff loves him. It's always been a journey. It's fun watching kids grow. When you get them when they're young, you get to see them grow up. Carius is an old soul and a simple kid. He doesn't do, his Twitter is largely ran by one of our coaches because he doesn't know how to do it, doesn't want to learn how to do it.
I love that.
He doesn't, he's on Facebook, like a Mimo, right? So that's how he operates. And, and he, so he's like, hey, I got this commit video we're going to do. And he's like, I'm going to post it on my Facebook. I'm like, okay, buddy, whatever you want to do. And so, he's an old soul. Like when I met him, he wanted to drive trucks. I'm like, how about the NFL? But he wants to drive, he wanted to drive trucks. He's kind of simple and old school. He's a homebody. That's why, the decision college-wise is ultimately going to come down to schools within a 6-hour-ish radius of the Memphis area. And, he has got so much growth. He's so, wonderfully simple in the sense that it's not like when I met him as a 10th grader and, we had a University of Alabama group came up and they weren't doing football. It was just to show students. They come to University of Alabama and he looked at me and said, do they play football there? That's where he was just not too long ago. He's just not caught up into most things recruits and young high school kids get caught up in. He's just not caught up in that. He's not out running the streets. He's a homebody. So he's a great kid. He's grown up a lot. He really, part of the decision to go to LSU and really the decision with his final three was what place can help make me a better man, a better father, a better future husband, things of that nature, as well as get me prepared for the NFL. And so, he's a good kid. He's one of a kind. You will very much enjoy getting to know him. I'm sure you try to get him for an interview. He does not like doing those. He is very uncomfortable. And so,
thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he won't do them.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a little nervous about him live on air, but
Sure.
he was, he's a great kid in that way. So you guys are getting a good one.
Lance Clark. Coach, it's a pleasure. Can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes on this Friday.
Yeah, no problem.
Be well. Lance Clark, the head coach there at Marion High School, coaches Carius Kern. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Very clearly a prospect that people have a lot of excitement about, and you can tell why. We'll continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Hey, if you're looking for a home in the Geismar area, how about this one? Open house coming up on June the 30th, so it's next week. But mark this down, on Belle Prairie in Geismar. It's 4-bedroom, 3-bath, a hair over 3,000 square feet, an absolute beauty. So if you're looking in Geismar there in Ascension Parish, check this listing out from Darren James. And by the way, if you're thinking about listing your home, how many other realtors do daily radio ads that mention their listing? Could be your home getting shout out on radio and television. Your listing. Darren James does. One of the reasons why he's on the Wall Street Journal's list, the top 1% of realtors in America, number 1 in Louisiana, number 14 in the country. If you need to sell your home, you need the best. You need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Has a little bit of a Chris Cornell, like Audio Slave, I Am the Highway vibe to it. That is Leif Mesh?
Leif Mesh Band.
The Leif Mesh Band. One of the bands will be competing tonight. Battle of the Bands over at the Texas Club. Doors at 7. First band at 8. Winner is going to, and crowd participation is a big part of it. So winner is going to get to open up for Kenny Wayne Shepherd on July 13th over at the River Center tonight. We hope to see a bunch of y'all out there. I'll be one of the judges, so I'll be out there. Come say, hey, I got a light blue. Well, y'all know what I look like. I got a light blue pair of shirt on. Well, yeah, it's right. You never know.
It's pretty funny, man.
What?
I was like, it sounded pretty funny the way you said it.
Well, I mean, you never know. You never know if people actually know.
I guess it's fair, yeah.
All right. I was having lunch today with my buddy Dan Palmer from over at Mockler, and we ran over. So Jimmy was doing a show at Rufino's today on Friday, and he had Devin Snow with him, a.k.a. Holden Mayo. And so Dan and I were having lunch, and we ran over there to say hey, and Dan's like, that's what that guy looks like? I'm like,
who? Wait, Jimmy or Mayo?
Mayo.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, he's an internet guy.
Yeah.
He does videos.
Yeah.
How do you not? I'm like, Dan, how do you not know what he looks like? He also said there was something that he was seeing of us, and he saw you. He was like, I didn't know what Musso looked like. He's like, that's Musso. I'm like,
yeah,
that's
me.
Shout out to Dan Palmer, good dude over at Mockler. We had a great relationship with him. But anyway, we're having lunch because we were planning our calendar of events, and we've done some really cool stuff. I mean, just the relationship we had with Mockler Beverage and Bud Light over the last year. I mean, think back to it. Last year they were giving out tickets to the LSU College World Series. We were giving those away every day on the air. They've given away suite tickets to a Saints game. We gave away suite tickets. We gave away
Garth Brooks.
That's what it was. It was suite tickets to Garth Brooks.
Like 50-yard line suite tickets.
To Garth Brooks. We did the big promotion a couple of weeks ago for the Poirier fight over at L'Auberge. We've done some awesome stuff. The winner VIP game watch at the Slattery there at Mockler. So we're planning out our stuff for the fall. We got some really cool stuff coming up. Another UFC when Adesanya is fighting in August, we'll do another big UFC event. We got stuff that we're planning for the Monday Night Football game against the Chiefs, the Thursday Night Football game against the Broncos. So some really cool stuff, man. We appreciate our friends over at Mockler. So got a lot of good stuff coming, Muse. It's going to be a fun football season. We need our downtime during the summer. We do need to make sure we recharge a little.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. I've got downtime coming up now, so I'm good.
You still have another hour and 39 minutes, Muse.
I know.
So keep the energy high, Muse.
I think the energy's been good today.
It's 4:22 right now. Don't let me find that you're already on vacation if you know. Look at Paulie, right? Am I right, Paulie? Okay.
He might be on vacation already.
I think he already is. Saints signed Mac McClain on Thursday, cornerback. We talked about Roderick Teamer. That was the one that came first, and we later found out about Mac McClain. I don't know that this is he was an undrafted free agent with the Broncos out of North Carolina A&T back in 2021. He ended up getting cut, played 2 games that rookie season with the Eagles. In 22, he was on the Eagles practice squad for the entire season and off season. Last year, went to training camp with the Panthers, and now he's signed with the New Orleans Saints. Saints waived defensive end Nathan Latu in the corresponding move. You could look at this and say, well, are they preparing for the inevitability of needing to add another cornerback? Because if they're going to move on from Lattimore, listen, Mac McClain obviously isn't replacing Marshawn Lattimore. But the thing that I have said pretty commonly is I do think this would be a good time to trade Marshawn Lattimore. Mac McClain has nothing to do with that. I think you could go into this season, if you're not planning on having Lattimore with you next year because of the contract circumstance, which I understand, trade him now. You'd rather get rid of him a year too early, a year too late. Now when you can get something, anything for him as opposed to watching him walk next season. But if the Saints feel like they are a contending team, then you're not going to trade one of your best players, and Lattimore is still your best cornerback when he's healthy. I just don't believe they're a contending team. I think the front office in New Orleans feels differently than I do, which is fine. But if you were going to move on, you would obviously have McKinstry and Adebo as your boundary corners, Alontae Taylor in the slot, and someone like Mac McClain conceivably could be a backup player, a special teamer, or practice squad guy that you call in if you need him. But just another name to keep an eye on as they move into training camp. All right, it's after further review. There are some CBS NFL hot seat rankings that that we want to delve into. We'll get to that here in a second. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Still going on, y'all. Weekends here. The weekend is really when a lot of people go shop for vehicles because it's when you can go test drive. So shop online. Go to the website, SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Search new certified pre-owned. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online. So when you go to the website and you hit either the new or the used vehicle tab, you will see pictures of the actual vehicle on the lot. You will see a full list of their inventory, and they have great deals right now because they are trying to boost and restock their pre-owned inventory. So get top dollar for your trade-in right now and get into that brand new Volkswagen from South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? So we have a show prep document every day where Muse will throw topic ideas in the show prep document. We use some of them I use, whatever. And Muse, I feel like you're setting me up now for Saints fans just to hate me because everything you put in the document now about the Saints is all negative stuff.
That's not true.
Like today you put in there this hot seat thing for Dennis Allen.
That's topical.
Wait, what do you mean that's topical?
It's topical. He's on the hot seat. That's not overly negative.
It's
what's happening with the team.
This would be a great example of feigned indignance or something like that because this is just a summertime list, but it's just all you're trying to do is get me in trouble with the fans who just think all I do is go and crap on Dennis Allen and the Saints all the time.
That's not what I'm doing at all.
Then what are you doing? You want me to talk about Cody? Who's Cody Benjamin? Cody?
We just had Cody on the show.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I loved having him on the show. He did a fantastic job in that hit.
I'm giving you topical topics. That sounds horrible. Topical content to talk about the Saints. That's what I'm doing. Yesterday, I put in there that they signed that safety. What was his name? The guy?
Roger Teamer.
Yes.
But I already had that.
Well, I didn't know you already had that.
I mean, what do you think?
The first thing I saw when I got in yesterday.
I've gotten labeled by some Saints fans as just a Saints hater. Nah. And I hate Dennis Allen, I hate Derek Carr, and I'm blinded by my hatred, which is not true. Yeah. The great thing about the internet is everything is recorded, for good or bad. I was very much in favor of the Dennis Allen hire at the time. I was. And the more the sample size grows, you're allowed to change your mind. When they hired Dennis Allen, I got it. I said, I understand what you're doing. You've had this great run for a decade and a half. You've had consistency. You've had stability. Dennis Allen maintains some of that stability now. He is clearly a really good defensive mind. You're keeping Pete Carmichael as offensive coordinator, who had been with you since 2006, but been the OC since 2007. And it maintains all of that consistency, the terminology. Dennis Allen had been a head coach. This is a more healthy situation than what he had with the Raiders. And sometimes you had your learning lesson the first time. Now you'd be better the second go round. Like, I was very much in favor of the hire. I have not always crapped on Dennis Allen. I understood it at the time, and I was good with it. Now, I would have preferred they hired an offensive-minded coach at the time, but I got the Dennis Allen hire. I was okay with it. It's just very clear now that he's not a great head coach, not going to be. So Cody Benjamin has this list that Muse gave me because he clearly wanted me to do another rant on Dennis Allen.
It's not true.
Then why did you put this in the
document? I told you,
document?
It's topical content. They're in the offseason. He's on the hot seat. We got to talk about that, for better or worse.
Hot seat. Stupid hot seat. Every NFL coach is on the hot seat.
Not everyone.
I
think Andy Reid's doing pretty well.
Bill Belichick just got fired.
I know.
Literally the greatest coach ever just got fired. Everyone in the NFL is always on the hot seat. Andy Reid's 65 years old now.
I think Andy Reid's doing well, though.
What if they went like 4-13 this year?
I don't think they'd fire him.
I absolutely think they would fire him. A forced retirement is what they'd be looking at. Anyway, Sean McDermott from the Bills, number 8. Like, is Sean McDermott really going anywhere? I guess maybe. Like, they've had a really good run, 73-41 going into his 8th year.
Not enough playoff success, I guess.
But I get it.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles at number 7. I can't believe Todd Bowles is still the coach there. If you run through the list,
7 feels low.
Nick Sirianni is 6. I mean, guy was just in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
They wanted him fired last year, and they didn't do it.
But that's the point. McCarthy 5, which is not surprising. Eberflus with the Bears 4. And then there's Dennis Allen, number 3 on the list. Who's 2-1? Like, who in the world would be a more fireable option? Brian Daboll with the Giants is who they have at number 2, and the number 1 hot seat guy is Robert Saleh with the Jets. So, I guess. But, I mean, couldn't you punt last year with the Jets because of Rodgers' injury? I mean, you put all your eggs into that basket. Eberflus makes a lot of sense, but I don't know why you didn't fire him this year. I mean, you're bringing in a rookie quarterback with a bad coach, and what, are you going to fire him, have another head coach in year 2? Whatever. This isn't about Eberflus or Daboll or any of those guys. It's more about Dennis Allen. And one of the reasons that it is worth sharing things like this is just to illustrate what we kind of, it just underscores what we all know. It's not me being negative or anything of the kind. It's just, this is the feeling around the entire NFL. It's like that gif of the little dog sitting in the burning room saying, this is fine, while everything's burning around you. And everybody can see that everything's on fire, but you're just sitting there like, no, this is fine. Like, that's what the Saints organization is right now. And I would love to be wrong. I would love for them to be a 10-win team this year, to win the division, to get back to the playoffs and start moving this thing in the right direction. I just don't see any evidence to believe that that's going to happen. And it's going to be a long June and July talking about this team, because I don't know that I have a lot of good to say over the next 2 months. Get to camp, start to see some progress, maybe. Maybe we'll start to have a better conversation. But I mean, Vegas has your win total at 7.5. Dennis Allen's number 3 on the hot seat list. Derek Carr's at tier 3 quarterback in the NFL. Muse is just going to keep loading up the show prep document. A lot of stuff to make me say bad things about the Saints.
I'm going to load it up with topical content.
Why don't you give me something about like being Drew Brees' birthday or something like that?
Is it Drew Brees' birthday?
I don't know. Can you find somebody whose birthday it is so I can say something good about my favorite team?
Sure.
Okay, thanks, Muse. Awesome. It's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Tigers and the Pros in about 15 minutes. Mintzy to start next hour as well. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics. ActionIndinc.com for Action Industries. Action Industries Incorporated. Listen, there's a lot of great, gigantic commercial contractors, right? These companies that do these mega projects, the $200 million projects. That's not Action Industries. One of the reasons that they've been so successful for so long is they know who they are. Their sweet spot at Action Industries is like a 100-man job. If that's what you're looking for, and when you go talk to these giant commercial contractors, you're not really a priority, at Action, they're sending their best on that job. And they're local, and they have been since 1982. 42 years. And you know this as well as I do. If you're a maintenance manager, turnaround coordinator, you don't keep getting hired for 4 decades if you don't have a great safety record and do exceptional work. That's Action Industries. Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques, Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Petty Betty, another one of the bands that'll be rocking the stage tonight for a Battle of the Bands with Eagle 98.1, presented by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Over at the Texas Club tonight, doors at 7, first band at 8. We're looking forward to being out there. And if you're going to be out and about this weekend, check out our friends over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great spot to go have a beer, craft cocktail, great whiskey, a fine cigar, hang out, relax, beautiful, comfortable furniture, flat screen TVs everywhere, great vibe to relax this weekend, or just go stock your stash at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. We are less than 2 months away, or just about 2 months away, from being wheels up out to Las Vegas for LSU and USC. I'm pretty fired up for it, man. We'll be doing shows off the bench, AFR, Hunt Palmer show from the MGM Sportsbook inside of the Mandalay Bay. That's where we'll be doing our shows live. And we'll be doing Off the Bench, AFR, Hunt Palmer Show, Eagle 98.1 Game Day. It's going to be a heck of a trip, and we're really looking forward to it. I know a lot of LSU fans have been looking forward to this for years, and a lot of you still looking to go. Our buddy Jason Ramezan over at Mr. Fun's Travel has put together a trip, and that's what we will be on, and Jason's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes now. Mr. Fun, what's up, man?
Matt, how are you, bud? Good to talk to you. It's been a while.
Man, look, we always enjoy the relationship and have for a long time. I mean, I've been traveling with you since 2009 for these types of trips. What's been kind of the response for LSU USC? I mean, you've done these for basketball, for football, LA, Rose Bowl, Lambeau, all that sort of stuff. Give me some context on what this USC trip, the response has been like for LSU fans.
So Lambeau was probably the number one trip of all time for an LSU football fan, I think. In terms of when I was with the Alumni Association, the Traveling Tigers, we had thousands of people on that trip, 6, 7 charter planes, et cetera. The Rose Bowl trip to play UCLA was probably a close second at the time. I think this one has now surpassed that.
Really?
Vegas, I know how long you've been wanting to see LSU play in the Vegas Bowl. Obviously, we have higher hopes than that now. But
no doubt.
This is a special trip. I mean, it's Las Vegas. We've got a great alumni base in Las Vegas and on the West Coast. There was a good following. There was a good trip to UCLA for the Rose Bowl for that game. It wasn't the Rose Bowl, but
the Rose Bowl Stadium.
Rose Bowl Stadium. That's right. This one has been really, really well received, and I know our friends over at the Alumni Association have sold out their trip. I know there were other trips that have picked up as well, and heck, Delta picked up their own travel and did some nonstop flights out of Baton Rouge as well. So there are going to be a lot of Tiger fans going out to Vegas for Labor Day weekend. I can tell you that.
I'm surprised to hear you say that this is the second most, sought after trip that LSU has made. I guess it makes sense. I mean, it's Vegas. It's a great opponent in USC. So we've talked about these trips forever, Jason, but one of the other things that makes this year, we'll get to some of the details of your trip in a second, but one of the other things that makes the details of this trip complicated is for everybody trying to go to Vegas, flights have been a total disaster. Can you kind of speak to that for people looking to travel? What's happened there?
Yeah, so it's funny, and we read the message boards and we do all these things and see where we're at and how we compare in pricing and when the game was first announced a few years ago, actually, we started planning very, very early with this as compared to even some of our counterparts were doing it early as well. But then when Southwest and some of these other airlines started getting involved, those flights got booked really, really early and at reasonable prices. Well, supply and demand, right? And so just like if LSU's playing in Omaha, all of a sudden the flights from Baton Rouge to Omaha are triple what they would normally be. And so that's what they did. That's what the airline companies do. They know what they're doing. They've been in business for a long time for a reason. And so they put together these great options and these times and these, but the prices are just out of this world. And then you've got to add on your baggage fees and things like that. So what we do at Mr. Funds Travel and what some of our competitors do is we provide a charter flight, right? And so the charter flight is all inclusive. It includes all your taxes, your fees, your baggage. It includes your transportation to and from the airport when we land in Vegas. We try to do it VIP and land at a little, a smaller, the FBO, if we can get that handled as well, where when we don't have to go through the main airport at McCarran, which is a nightmare at times. If you've never been to Vegas, that airport is crazy. And so then we took it even one step further. And when we're planning these trips, we look at it and go, okay, how is the Baton Rouge airport going to be on Friday morning of Labor Day weekend?
That's going to be a disaster.
Nightmare. Yeah. There are a lot of charters going out of Baton Rouge. There are the Delta flights going out of Baton Rouge, along with their regular service. So we decided, let's fly out on Thursday evening. People can still work Thursday. Let's fly out about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Baton Rouge time. You get your 2 hours while you're in the air. You're landing in Vegas about 8:30, something like that, 8:30. Here's the other thing. When you fly out early on Friday morning, rooms are never available in Las Vegas. So that's why you go with us. That's why we say go with the pros. We try to plan it, and we try to almost say it's travel for dummies. I don't mean that you're a dummy. I just basically mean when you check in at the airport, you check your luggage. Let me and my business partner, BJ Bello, we take care of the rest for you. We get you there. We got bus transportation. All that's taken care of. We do it all for you. So we say go with the pros, Mr. Funds Travel.
It is the easiest way to travel. I mean, from the time you show up at Baton Rouge Airport where you have your own private check-in area, like walking onto the tarmac to board the plane. When you get off the plane, there's a bus on the tarmac ready to take you to your hotel. When you get to the hotel, they hand you a packet with your room key. I mean, you're already checked in. It is the easiest way to travel. It really is. So Hester, T-Bob, and I are going to be on this flight. So if you want to come fly with Mr. Fun, fly with us as well. All right. So, and by the way, you do have partial packages as well, right? So if people maybe only want the flight, but they already have hotel, or they want the flight, need a game ticket, you have partial packages?
Yes, absolutely. So we always say we can, build a package to suit your needs, to tailor to your needs and wants. And so if you want to just fly with us, you've already got hotel. Let's be honest, Vegas offers comps and things like that. People have comps. Okay, we'll fly you out there. You can come, you can fly, you can just do the fly only portion of it. Let's say you already got your flight and you need rooms and tickets. I can do that for you. Let's say you need the full thing. You want everything. Charter air, hotel accommodations, game tickets, game day transfers. I can do all that as well. So we can do it all. Go to our website, MrFundsTravel.com. That's MRFUNS travel.com. You can see all the details on it there. We still have spots available. They are selling quick. Obviously, in the last week, since everybody started hearing about Hester, T-Bob, and Matt Moscona flying with us, we've sold an additional 20 or 30 spots. So you guys carry some real weight around here. So we're happy with that. We're glad we've got celebrities, and we're working on one or two more. I don't want to break the news yet, but we're going to have one or two more celebrities on board with us. So we're hoping to look. We have a good time. Obviously, our name is Mr. Funds Travel for a reason. We have a good time on the plane. Look, you can go travel and you can go fly Delta or something else, or some of these others out there that do it. You're not going to be on a plane full of LSU fans. You're not going to have a good time. We make it fun. We gamble a little bit. We play little games and things like that. Also, you get a meal on board. You get drinks on board. It's a good time, and you don't want to be left at home for this one. I can promise you that.
It's the best way to go. I mean, I think the best way I could say it is, like, if you want to go to Vegas for the LSU USC game, and booking flights has been a nightmare, which it was for us. I mean, Jason, that's the reason, obviously, why we're going. I mean, trying to do the whole commercial thing was a total disaster for us, and this just makes it so easy. So, MrFundsTravel.com, MRFUNS Travel.com, MrFundsTravel.com. Again, full and partial packages are available if you just want to fly. They got those options for you. So get in touch with Jason. They'll make a package for you. That'll make sense to get you, your family, all the way out there for Vegas for the season opener. All right, man. Hopefully, Jason, this one's different from all the other ones, like Lambeau and UCLA, and that they win the freaking game, man. I'm tired of going on these trips and watching them lose.
Me too. And that's one thing when I was with the Alumni Association, I used to say there are two things I cannot guarantee, weather and victories.
Yeah.
The weather won't be a problem. It's going to be hot, so just be prepared for that. But it's an inside stadium, and it's a beautiful stadium. I'm almost willing to guarantee a victory here, but I just can't do that.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I can't do it. We're going to win this one, though. It's time. It's time for Coach Kelly and the Tigers to win a season opener. So I got my money on it. Let's just say that.
I'm tired of starting 0-1. Yeah, let's go win again. It's way more fun when they win. All right, it's a pleasure, man. We'll be in touch.
Thanks for all you do.
Of course, man. Thank you. That's Jason Ramezan with Mr. Funds Travel. I'm not just saying that. Like, Erica and I have traveled with Jason, either with the Alumni Association or with Mr. Funds for years, and it is just the best way to travel. If you're maybe think about it as a Christmas present for you or for the family, whatever, in advance, like, it's just the best way to go. It is so turnkey. It is so easy. I mean, I'm thrilled that I don't have to mess around with commercial airlines in this. It's just, anyway, MrFundsTravel.com if you want to book your spots. But again, he's got one plane, so when it's sold out, like they're not selling more spots. So if you're interested, get on it now because it will sell out. All right, it's AFR, Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. No matter where you are in greater Baton Rouge, there's a Clegg's Nursery near you. It is an awesome time to get by, man. The summer is here, and I know a lot of people are getting out in their yard. They're making it look beautiful again. And if you want some of that summer color, our friends over at Clegg's Nursery can help make it happen. I mean, they've got beautiful flowers and plants and trees and shrub and mulch and everything that you need. Bag or bulk. They were expanding the greenhouse over there at the Seagan Lane location as well. Of course, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. If you're leaving Central, heading toward downtown Baton Rouge, I mean, you pass it right there on Greenwell Springs. You're passing the Welcome to Central sign. It's immediately on your right. Get on by any of the Clegg's Nursery locations. Maybe you're buying a gift and you're not sure what to get. Get them a Clegg's gift card to any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area for more than 60 years. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials, and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Who is that, Muse?
Gypsy Le Bleu.
I think it's Gypsy Le Bleu.
Gypsy Le Bleu. We're not going French on it.
Le Bleu.
Le Bleu.
Gypsy Le Bleu. One of the bands will be performing tonight at the Battle of the Bands over at the Texas Club, presented by Parish Construction and Roofing. We're fired up to be part of this, man. Supporting great local bands. And again, someone at that Battle of the Bands tonight is going to win an opportunity to open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd July 13th over at the River Center. So if you're not doing anything tonight, you're looking for something to do tonight, come join us. Doors at 7. First band starts at 8. Each band gets 30 minutes on the stage. It's 5 bands, so it'll be a great night. It'll move quickly, and we'll pick a winner, and we'll know who's going to open up for Kenny Wayne Shepherd by the end of the night. And crowd participation is going to be a big part of it. So y'all come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, it's after further review. Mincy's here in about 10 minutes from right now. We'll give our picks on the college baseball, the College World Series Championship Series, and we'll look at our standings. We need to have. We'll ask Mincy. I don't know what our ruling's going to be on, as I wasn't here last week, and I had picks. I didn't give them, so I don't know what we do. Then again, this is not a radiocracy. It's a radiotatorship.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I did.
You got it.
It's a radiotatorship.
That one didn't roll off the tongue as well as it had, but yeah. I
had to make sure I had it right. This is a radiotatorship. This is not a radiocracy, Muse. It's a radiotatorship.
So how are we doing picks this week, though? Because we have.
Yeah, you just have. I mean, I guess we could pick game 1. Is the line out for game 1?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
We could pick game 1, and then we could pick the winner of the series, so we could have 2 there. But I don't know. I've given 10 plays for the College World Series. I'm 8-2 in my 10 plays.
Good. That's really strong.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You're right. That's incredible.
That's friggin' incredible. My two misses were the 2
UNC.
games that UNC lost. No, it wasn't both games.
Oh, you said it was.
Tennessee beat them twice?
Florida State beat them as well.
No, so then it was I had Tennessee losing twice. No, I don't remember.
It doesn't matter.
No, it was North Carolina. Yeah, because then North Carolina beat Florida State. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, 8-2 is not is very good. So I don't know what we'll do, but maybe we just add it to my tally. Paulie, can we just add it to my tally?
Not all 10 of them.
Why not?
Because that's not what we've been doing.
This is a radiotatorship. This is not a radiocracy. I mean, I'm winning anyway.
That's fair,
I'm winning.
Yeah.
Did either of them have a winning record last week while I was up, Paulie? What?
I did.
Oh. What was their record?
Musa did.
What did he? How did he go?
Musa was 3-1.
4? Why'd you pick 4?
We picked all the opening round games. We just picked the opening round games.
A 3-1 week, and you're still sub 500?
I had a bad week in Super.
I'm 23-9-1. I didn't even pick last week, and I nailed all my picks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we definitely can do the your 4 opening round picks. I'm here for that. Yeah,
I was 4-0.
Fine with me.
I'm crushing you losers. So I'm 27-9-1 then.
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, we're not going to throw all 10 of them in there. That's not how the competition's worked all year. You got to have some semblance.
This is a radiotatorship.
I understand
this is not a radiocracy.
I'm not asking
What about
to
this
vote
is
on
confusing? Off with your head. Muso has Tigers in the Pros.
And one man said he wanted to decapitate me.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
like a minute.
All right.
You got like a minute.
Yeah, I know. We'll start with Paul Skeens.
You got 2 minutes.
We'll start with Paul Skeens. Skeens is now the odds-on favorite to win 2024 NL Rookie of the Year for the first time this season. His odds stand at minus $1.20 over at DraftKings. So get in on it while you can. I have a feeling that's just going to continue to that margin's going to continue to lengthen as along as Skeens just continues to shove.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
What?
that team's mascot's the Woodpeckers. Anyway, the Delmarva Shorebirds.
What do you mean?
I just haven't seen that one yet. The Fayetteville Woodpeckers.
Got it.
And the Delmarva Shorebirds. Blake Money got a victory last night in relief.
babe.
That's what we're talking about here. He plays for Delmarva. 4 1/3 in relief, 2 earned and 5 Ks. Win number 1 on the year for Blake Money. Dylan Cruz had a single and drove in 2 last night for Rochester. That's who he plays for there.
Will you get salmonella if you eat Rochester?
You might. Cam Sanders picked up his 5th save.
Call him up, you chumps!
Shutout inning and a strikeout. And the last thing that I had for you there, Jake Slaughter, big night, 3 for 4. All of them single, scored twice and drove in 1. That's Tigers in the Press.
Presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You need windows. You need the absolute best. Lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Why would you call anyone else? I'll tell you this much. If you're just shopping price, don't call Relief Windows. They're never going to be the cheapest, but they're always going to be the best. It's Relief Windows. 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, Mintzy with some college baseball picks right after Sports Center. Stay here.
AFR.
Y'all, weekend is upon us. It is an awesome time to experience Supper Club. If you've never been, or if it's been a minute since you've been, call right now and book that reservation. Listen, sometimes it's very, very hard to get in. I get it. But a lot of times they have people cancel reservations. And remember, you can always get on a list for priority if someone does cancel. Or remember, open seating at the bar. So you can always just walk into Supper Club without a reservation. Walk up to the bar, have dinner at the bar. Sometimes bar tables open. You can enjoy the night there. Listen, there's a lot of places you can get a steak or a piece of fish and have a cocktail. There is no place where you get the premium experience and the vibe of Supper Club. No place in Baton Rouge. No place in Louisiana. Few in the entire country. You want to experience New York or LA or Paris or Abu Dhabi in Baton Rouge? There's only one place. It's Supper Club.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Oklahoma football coach Brent Venables gets a new 6-year contract worth $46 million. The Sooners are 16-10 in 2 years under Venables, 10-3 last year. Oklahoma starts play in the SEC this season. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight in Edmonton. The Panthers still with a 3-2 series lead, but ESPN's PK Subban believes the Oilers are now the more confident team.
I think you could see the shift after Game 3 for Florida. They're a less confident group, but make no doubt about it, in Game 6, that pressure will be shared with Edmonton as well. For them to come back in this series and loom on home ice would be definitely devastating.
PK Subban, Game 6 coverage at 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison says today he's planning for all of the rotation players to return next season, but Harrison wants everyone to come back 10 to 15% better. The Celtics held their championship rally and celebration in Boston today in honor of their record 18th NBA title.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. One more hour till the weekend. College World Series final gets underway on Saturday evening. I am not going to watch a minute of it. I have no interest whatsoever in watching Texas A&M and/or Tennessee win their program's first championship. So we'll do this segment where we make our picks with Mintz, and that'll be the last I talk about college baseball until we have something relevant to talk about with LSU. Hit it, Muse!
It's time to cash some tickets. Let's preview the college baseball weekend with Ben Mintz and Barstool Sports, presented by the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Mintzy, what up, man?
How we doing, man? You brought it up a second ago, man. A funny first question here. I can tell you hate both fan bases. Gun to your head, who
A&M.
do you want to lose? Who do you want to lose more?
Lose Tennessee. No, I'm pulling for A&M. Pulling for A&M. Well, I'm not pulling for either. Let me be very clear. Mintzy, my thought on something like this, like we've experienced it the past couple of years with State and then Ole Miss winning. Thank you, Muse. You can kill the music. From an LSU perspective, you look at it and you say, okay, whenever you're going head-to-head for a prospect or anything, you always have the trump card because they've never won it. So the thought was like, I didn't want Mississippi State or Ole Miss to break through and win it. But Mintzy, look at what's happened to those two programs since they won it. It's been negligible. Like, the impact has been negligible. They're not good programs right now. So, I mean, yeah, you get to put the banner on the wall, and it's a great experience, no doubt, like for the fan bases. And they get that. But, as far as how it might impact LSU, I don't know that it does. So I'm a little less concerned about that. So I would just think, all right, who do I hate less? Well, I hate A&M less because I think they're genuinely nice people. I think Vitello and his crew are a bunch of jackasses. I'm not in any way wishing anything good for them. So not so much cheering for A&M as I am against Tennessee. Is that a good answer?
Yeah, that's a good answer. I feel like, though, going next level on it, Tennessee's so great for college baseball because the world's better when you have a heel team like this. I mean, I totally agree. They're so easy to hate with their annex and everything, but they've got very hateable fan base too. But it's a lot better having them in here than like Vandy, even no one cares. Good for the sport.
There is that component when you say about Vandy, but I even look back to 2 years ago when Tennessee had the quote unquote greatest regular season team ever and they lost. Like, we went through so many of the numbers, Mintzy. Like, Tennessee wasn't good for college baseball. They didn't bring new people to college baseball. They gave people who were already here someone to hate. Like, you and I are going to watch college baseball either way. I don't know that Tennessee, being a bunch of jerks, is bringing new people to the sport. It's just giving people who are already here a reason to have some type of discord and debate and someone to cheer against. I think star players are the magnets to watch. Like, people watching the Pirates now, not because of the Pirates, they're watching Paul Skeens. Women's college basketball, like, people or WNBA are watching Caitlin Clark. There's nobody on Tennessee's team that's bringing people in. They just collectively are very polarizing for people who like college baseball.
That's fair. But we got a heck of a series here.
Yeah, man.
Tennessee's minus 220 to win the series. A&M's plus 180 on the 2 out of 3. We did our draft, Matt. You got A&M. I have Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we both have teams alive.
How about that, Mincy? Like, when we did our snake draft before the whole thing started, and you and I landed here on the two teams that are in it. That's like, I mean, I guess there's always going to be a heavy favorite in there, but this is an event where typically the favorites aren't the ones standing. I mean, we've talked about it a ton. The number one seed hadn't won this thing since 99.
Yep. 25 years. Tennessee may do it. What do you think? Who do you like in the series?
Okay, I guess we can get to it. First of all, Paulie, let's put up the record. So, and Mincy, I know I was gone last Friday, but we do have, I do have proof that I gave my picks. I did not text them to you and Mew, so we can do whatever we want. But I did go 4-0, and actually, Mincy, I've given 10 plays in this College World Series so far. They've gone 8-2. My only 2 losses were North Carolina's 2 losses. I had Carolina winning those 2 games. But I'm 8-2 in 10 games. Like, this has been an uncanny run for me in college baseball this year because I really have never bet college baseball before. So, anyway, Muse went 3-1 last week. Mincy, you went 1-3. So on the season, Muse is 18-19. Mincy's 19-21. I am 23-9-1 without my 4-0 last week, Mincy, which would put me at 27-9-1. That's just absurd, man.
I have no problem with you counting it because this isn't for money, so there's no reason to lie. You know what I mean? If it was for money, I feel like there would be some arguments, but like I try, like, you know, I know you're a man of your word.
Well,
so I'm fine with you.
I have me giving the plays on Morning Scone the days of the College World Series. So I have video proof of me giving the plays, but it's just whether we count them or not, it's irrelevant. But it's been a heck of a run. Okay, Mincy, what we decided we would do is because the line for Game 1 is already out, we give a pick for Game 1 and then a pick for the series. Is that cool with you?
Okay.
All right, I'll start because I don't know if you've looked at Game 1 yet. Ryan Prager on the mound for A&M, who is their ace. I know they got a lot of injuries. I have half a mind to take a swing at A&M plus 140, but if I think $1.30 is a cheap price on the run line with Prager on the mound. So I'll take A&M on the run line. So I'll take the 1.5. I'll lay the $1.30, and I'll take A&M on the run line in game 1. Mintz, you want to go next?
Sure, I will. So you said Tennessee hadn't announced yet, but Prager's going for it.
I was looking for it. I haven't seen it yet. Muse, I don't know if you've seen it either.
I haven't either. I mean, they've stuck pretty true to their, their using of the opener, Stamos, and then going to
That's probably what I can't imagine they do anything differently.
I can't either.
Anyway.
Okay, well, that gives A&M maybe an edge in the pitching matchup. Man, these if you just bet unders, you'd be rich here.
I'm sorry. No, they did. Here it is. They did post it. Vitello said it just a bit ago. They are going to start Chris Stamos and do the starter thing and then go from there. So, yeah, they're going to stay true to what they do.
All right. Well, I've obviously made a lot of losing bets. Matt, while you're 8-2 in Omaha, I'm 3-9. So there's that. And by the way, not just about 3-9. Started 0-7 and then won 3 in a row.
Oh, so you gave yourself hope.
Oh man,
it's been rough. The Twitter, it's well earned though. And so I'm an idiot because all you have to do is bet unders in Omaha and take the money. And yet here we are again, and I just can't bet an under in A&M Tennessee with these lineups. I can't do it, even in this ballpark. So I'm going over 11. And I'm probably going to lose.
It all really depends on what the wind does. But with Prager on the bump, like Mintzy, honestly, I looked long and hard at betting the under, but I just see so much value. And actually, I'm looking at it right now. Hey, Mintzy, maybe me giving out the pick just moved the line. It's now minus 125.
They do. When you win 75% of your games, you can move the line.
Oh man, Muse, what do you got?
It's funny. You talked about Prager on the mound in the lineups and all that. The last time Tennessee went with this, thing in Omaha, the opener and whatnot, they were facing Jamie Arnold, who's pretty darn good as an ace. Tennessee gave up 11. Florida State gave up 12. Like, that game soared over the total there. I like Prager in this matchup, though. I will take A&M on the money line plus 140 to open the College World Series finals.
I love it. I mean, I was just making a more sensible play, Muse, but I love it, man.
Man, we're 18 and 19. What you got to lose at this point?
And for me, like I could take the swing.
Yeah.
Which I am actually going to do in my series pick. I'm going to take A&M. I got him in the snake draft. I'm way ahead, so I'll take a swing with A&M to win the whole thing. Mintzy, what you got?
I wouldn't bet this because I hate taking the minus 220 thing, but it feels like it's Tennessee's time. How good they've been the last 4 years, how deep that lineup is. You got to give A&M credit. Their number 2 starter and Montgomery have been out. They're still undefeated in the tourney. That's an incredible effort without those guys. But I don't know, man. It seems like Tennessee got away with one in that Florida State game, and after that, it's like it's their time.
Oh God, did they?
Florida State grabbed the throat so hard.
They just Florida Stated
in Omaha, yeah.
It's unbelievable. Were they down 4 in the 9th? Or Tennessee was down 3 in the 9th and scored 4.
That check swing, though, man. Yeah. That check swing's a lot of fun.
That was rough.
Who you got, Muse?
Yeah, so I picked A&M to win game 1. I'll take Tennessee to win the whole thing. I think they come back in the next 2 and do it for a lot of the reasons Mincy went. It feels like they've kind of been the best team all year, and especially in this tournament, they've been refusing to be denied.
Yeah. And yet A&M hasn't lost in the postseason.
That's true.
Of course, you can get the lines over at DraftKings. Mincy and the guys over at Barstools, great DraftKings partner. They've been great partners of ours here on AFR, really ever since mobile sports betting went live in Louisiana, so we appreciate DraftKings as well. Mincy, it's been fun doing this, man. We'll have to find out.
I know, even though I've been terrible, I'm all about the growing the college baseball and the game. It's been I hope we do it again next year. It's a really fun thing. I think it's a great weekly segment.
We'll be down for it, man. Hey, you're not going to be in Omaha. Are you up in Chicago?
No, yeah. So, cool story to share today. Had Gus Malzahn and Johnny Dawkins and S.J. Toohey in the office today, the Central Florida crew, because I'm going to some Central Florida NIL happy hour with all their people in a minute. But played Johnny Dawkins and Horse in the Barstool office today. Did not went as well as you'd expect.
So Johnny Dawkins still has the stroke?
Yeah, he still got the stroke. He destroyed me. And then, like, Gus Malzahn just played in the Pebble Beach in the Coaches versus Cancer golf thing. So we got the golf simulator out and played Pebble Beach on the golf simulator with Gus. He loved it.
How did that go?
That also went poorly for me. But I told both of them, I was like, look, I'll take y'all on at the poker table anytime, but that's all I got.
That's right, man.
But no, it was fun. It was fun having them in, and it was cool. I had SJ talking about the NIL and how crazy the world is, and KJ Jefferson, the Central Florida Knights starting quarterback this year, that'll be interesting to follow.
That's a wild story. KJ coming back to school and then also transferring as well, but we'll see how he does over there. All right, Mintzy, we got to run, man. Have a great weekend. We appreciate you.
Enjoyed it.
Be well.
Thank y'all again.
That's Ben Mintz. It's after further review. Stick around.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Give him a buzz, y'all. 888-8888. 888-8888. For Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, you can always go to getgordon.com. That's the website. Or let me direct you also to gordongives.com. One of the things I think that I've really enjoyed the most about our partnership with Gordon has been getting to tell the stories of Gordon Gives, which is the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Like, people see Gordon on the billboards, you hear him on the radio, you see him on TV, you know he's got an enormous law firm, and he's helped 10,000 Louisianians over the last 30 years, $2 billion recovered for his clients and damages. But the cool thing is how much they give back to the community through the NIL initiatives, through Gordon Gives, through breast cancer awareness, and through the laptop program for high school graduates, and so many other ways. The bicycles for children around Christmas. It's awesome. Gordon Gives. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere.
that time our stars will shine from outer space. It leaves me yearning for a taste, something to feel, something that's real. 'Cause I ain't got no more time to kill. Got a little drink filling up my cup and I'm feeling lifted.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
A big congrats to William Schmidt. The LSU signee, the Catholic high school ace, has been named the National High School Pitcher of the Year by Perfect Game. What an amazing honor and what a story, man. I know, we had William with us here a couple of weeks ago with, when Terrio was here. We talked to Brad Bass earlier this week, the Catholic high baseball coach, who, of course, the Bears earlier this week were named the national champion by Max Preps. And now William Schmidt, the National High School Pitcher of the Year. I get everybody's point whenever we look at the draft situation. And Schmidt finished the season. I'm looking at his stats right here. He was 9-0, had a .44 ERA, 63, listen to this, 63 innings pitched. He had 102 strikeouts. He had 102 strikeouts to just 17 walks. He allowed 19 hits all year. In 63 innings, he allowed 19 hits all season.
That's absurd. I mean, that's not even video game. That's a total cheat code.
That's when you know when he's on the bump and you're the other team, like you have no chance. Like it's just not going to be your day. No matter how off he may be, it's just not going to be your day. Because in high school, you don't hit 98.
No.
And it was interesting, too, listening to Brad Bass and even William talk about, like, he hasn't really thrown a changeup because when you throw 98, your changeup is 87. Well, 87 is a hittable fastball for a high school kid. They're not touching 98. So that kid learns to throw a changeup on top of his curveball, which is considered by many. William Schmidt's curveball is considered the best pitch. Like, now I'm not saying he's the best prospect, best pitch, or whatever. Like, that is the best singular pitch, his curveball, in this entire draft, which is just silly to think. That kid's right down the road, and he's committed to LSU. He's signed with LSU. What did Kylie McDaniel say? Did he say 15% that he ends up at LSU? Was that the number?
That's what he said, 15%.
I obviously don't think he's going to show up on campus. Just to be clear and transparent there. But the thing about the draft is it's just screwy. And you have a situation there with a kid who has a deep love for LSU, is a self-described LSU baseball like super fan. Like that's what he said here on the show when he was here. And man, like it's one of those things where I look and I say, he's probably thinking, give me a reason not to sign. Like just give me a reason not to sign. And if his number is 3 and he goes back half of round 1, again around 1, or maybe in one of the sandwich rounds, and someone offers him 2.5, you pass on it? Like most kids wouldn't. He might. But Cam Johnson passed on it. Aiden Moffitt passed on 7 figures. Gavin Guidry passed on $2 million. Landon Marceau passed on $2 million. I mean, it happens. Like someone asked me this morning, like on Morning Scone, why do you even bother? Like, why do you bother recruiting these kids that are never going to show up? You talk about Connor Griffin and Cam Caminiti, and I get it. Like, every year there are those guys that are never going to show up. But there's a couple of parts to it. There's a couple of components. Like, number one, you start recruiting these guys when they're in showcases when they're, like, 13 years old. Yep. So you don't know at 13 that they're going to be Connor Griffin and be a top 10 pick. But you start recruiting them because they're a great player. And some of them become Connor Griffin. And sometimes they show up on campus, like, because you never know. Before his season this year, Cade Arambidi, the catcher out of Houston that LSU has committed, everyone had him as a first-round draft pick. Like, there's no way that guy's coming to campus. Well, then he has a down senior year. Now he's a projected, like, third, fourth-round guy, and everyone expects him now to come to campus. You recruit him because you don't know if Alex Bregman's going to break a bone in his hand his senior year and not go in round one so he shows up on campus. You recruit him because you don't know if Dylan Cruz is going to show up on campus and say, you know what, I'd rather not ride a bus. For $2 million, I'll come play 3 years at LSU, fly private, play in front of 10,000 people, win a Golden Spikes, win a Natty, and then make $9 million. Cam Johnson shows up on campus. Like, that's why you recruit him, because you never know. There's always those weird situations that happen in the draft, and it works both for and against you. Like, we gave the examples earlier in the week of guys who were committed, who were coming, who were physically on campus. The draft happened. The Dodgers dropped $6 million in Zach Lee's lap, and boom, he's gone. It happens in the draft every year. And I think William Schmidt is just enough of a wild card, not like him, his personality or anything. I just mean because of his love for LSU, because when you hear people, like, he's just a little, like, people that I don't purport to know William Schmidt at all. I've met him. We had him on the show, but I can't say that I know him. But that he's just kind of a little quirky, maybe a little quiet, and that maybe just desperately wants to play for LSU so much that if someone gives him a reason not to sign, he doesn't sign. But if he gets $4 or $5 million, he should sign if he gets that. But we'll see. You have a thought on it?
What I mean, I think it's the same thing. I mean, we talk about it all the time in football, like the dirt and wanting to wear the jersey, but that's just as big in baseball. It's big in any LSU sport with Louisiana kids. But the thing I was going to kind of touch on was what you said about why you recruit those guys. And when you look at LSU's recruiting class this year, like I talked about this on Musso at the Box in one of the offseason episodes, their class, like, you're going to lose guys in the draft, but their class is so deep this year. Like, Derek Curiel is the 10th ranked player in the country. He's the 4th ranked player in this class. Like, that's how deep. Cade Arambidi is below him. Yeah. That's how deep their class is. Like, you're going to lose guys like Connor Griffin. You're going to get Derek Curiel. You're going to get elite guys. So, yeah, recruit them all.
Still curious to see what happens with him. So I did talk to a scout yesterday who was listening to the Kylie McDaniel interview. Said Kylie McDaniel was wrong about that.
Man, that's confusing. Now I'm just really baffled.
I know. Did I tell you that, by the way? I don't know if I told you that.
Not about the convo, no, but he's obviously here with Kylie. But
so if you missed it, effectively, Derek Curiel is a kid out of California. He's an outfielder. Perfect Game has him as the number 10 overall prospect in the country. He said earlier this week that he's pulled himself out of the draft. He's withdrawn from the draft. He said formally withdrawn from the draft. He's coming to campus. Now, I said on air, you don't formally withdraw. You could tell teams don't draft me, but they can still pick you. And that's why we gave the examples of Christian Cairo and Zach Von Rosenberg and Zach Lee, guys who were like physically here. They were committed to coming, and then they got a call. Someone dropped a ton of money on them, and they left, and they took it. And so then I mentioned that, and Kylie McDaniel said, no, they changed the rule or something where you could. And then I had a scout buddy call me, heard the interview, called me, and was like, he's wrong. Like, I even checked. He's like, there's a port when you do your medical and you file all this stuff, like, you can't delete your name out of it. So I don't know. I don't know who to believe at this point, but yeah. I'm curious to see what happens there. Like, what if he does get a call at the end of round one and someone offers him 2.5? I don't know. We'll see. It's just why you always sweat out the draft. All right, it's after further review. We do know Cam Johnson's next destination. I'll talk about that in just a second. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You're thinking of buying land. Your first call, your first option is First South Farm Credit. Always encourage you to start the website, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you've ever borrowed money, home loan, HELOC, credit card, whatever, have you ever had a lender write you a check? First South Farm Credit does it every year. It's their patronage refund. Because they're a cooperative, they share their profits with their borrowers. So it effectively lowers the cost of borrowing. It's First South Farm Credit since 1916. They can help you buy land in any of the contiguous 48 states. It's First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthland.com. It's FirstSouthland.com. Cameron Johnson is headed to Oklahoma. So the former LSU Tiger who hit the transfer portal changed his Twitter header and with a picture of him with an Oklahoma uniform on. He didn't I didn't see anyway a post where he formally said he was committing to Oklahoma, but he changed his header, and then in his Twitter description, Twitter bio, he has OU baseball on there. So pretty clear indicator that he's picked the Sooners. When this happened yesterday evening, one of the things that I was told about this is Skip Johnson, who is Oklahoma's head baseball coach, is a guy who apparently, his reputation is that he is not only is he widely regarded as a pitching coach, but specifically in developing left-handers. He's Clayton Kershaw's personal pitching coach. So I think with Cam Johnson as a strong-arm lefty, that pedigree kind of works to his favor. The other thing that really, as I understand it, played into this with Cam Johnson is something we talked about a lot during the season. I don't know that I ever just flatly said it. We talked about it, but the reality is Cam Johnson struggled this year to pitch in front of 10,000 people. The moment ate him up. In fall ball, he was dominant. When he got on the bump in front of 10,000 people, he struggled to find the strike zone. And the problem is, when you're at LSU and you have to win, you can't justify continuing to put a guy out there who can't throw strikes. So he saw his innings dwindle. He's going to Oklahoma where Skip Johnson effectively told him, hey, look, the most we'll have here at a game is 2,500 people. It ain't the pressure cooker like it is in Baton Rouge, and we're going to keep running you out there. So if that's the case, then maybe that is a better situation for Cam Johnson. Listen, he's a dynamic arm talent, and I don't wish anything, I wish well for every young person. I don't wish anything poorly on anybody. So I hope he goes there, finds it, becomes a great prospect, and has a really good career at Oklahoma. It is worth noting LSU does play in Norman next year. So the thing that would suck is if he goes and finds himself a little bit and then shoves against you in Norman next year. But the Tigers will face Oklahoma in a 3-game series up in Norman next season, and they'll see their former pitcher Cam Johnson, who is now a member of the Oklahoma Sooners. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Couple of segments to go. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, this is the perfect time. If you have ever thought of building that pool in your backyard, your outdoor space, this is the time to call Duplessis Builders. Maybe you have a pool, you bought a home that had a pool and it's just dated and it's ready for an upgrade, for a remodel. This is the time to call Duplessis Builders. I love the quote that's on the homepage of their website where it says, quality lasts long after price is forgotten. That's a quote from Gucci. And it's true at Duplessis as well. Listen, they're not going to be the cheapest. They're not building spec pools that'll be, in and out in a month. It just ain't how it works. You're going to have a beautiful, quality, custom pool that will be the envy of your neighborhood that you will love for years, that will last. As a matter of fact, the industry standard workmanship guarantee is 1 year. Duplessis offers a 10-year workmanship guarantee. Learn more. DuplessisBuilders.net. Get that pool started today. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, Muse, I know that's Tommy G. Is this an original? It's got to be an original.
It's original.
Yeah, what's it called?
Booty Doodat.
Come again?
Booty.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said booty doodat.
That's exactly what I said.
Like D-O-D-A-T, booty doodat?
Yeah.
I wonder if Tommy G is going to drop that little nugget tonight over at the Texas Club.
I think it would certainly help his case to win. This is fun right here.
You better.
Like, talk about get the crowd going, get the people going.
I think Tommy G is from Morgan City, if I'm not mistaken. So representing the Bayou region, man, coming on up, and he's got a big dude. He's got some of his songs, like I've seen YouTube, like 1.7 million views and stuff like that. Yeah, he's popular down there, man. I think he's gonna bring a herd of people up here to support him. So, a Battle of the Bands presented by Parrish Construction and Roofing. It's going down tonight. As soon as we finish here, I'm jetting over to Texas Club. We'll get set up. Doors at 7. First band start at 8 o'clock. 5 bands compete for the right to open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd July 13th over at the River Center. Our friends over at Eagle 98.1 have put this on, our sister station. Michelle Southern's done an awesome job, and it's going to be a fun night. Really looking forward to it. All the response has been amazing. I got a little peek behind the curtain of the ticket pre-sales. It's robust, and then $20 at the door. So hope to see a lot of y'all there, man. Come on out. Come have a few drinks and watch some good music and have a fun night with us. We'll look forward to it over at the Texas Club here tonight, courtesy of Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. The NFL has tweaked their IR rules. That's injured reserve, of course. Players are allowed to return now from IR. It used to be that if you were on IR, your season was over. So they changed that to where if you go on IR, you have to miss at least 4 games, but they changed the designation of how many players could go to IR with a designation of return. So teams this year will have a maximum of 8 designations during the regular season, which is the same as last year, but they'll also get 2 additional in the postseason. And if you don't use your 8 in the regular season, they will roll over into the postseason. So in theory, you could have, if you don't put anybody on IR with the designation return, you could have 10 for the postseason. You wouldn't need that, but you could for what it's worth. And so players on IR still have to miss 4 games, but just something to file away as we move throughout this NFL season, as they've made that rule change. So it's going to be impactful, especially when you look at guys who maybe you get injured at the end of the season. Instead of going on to season-ending IR, you have the opportunity potentially to return in the postseason, which makes sense. Like, I mean, I've always been in favor of, like, why couldn't anybody return at any point if they're healthy? And I understand the counterpoint of that is to say, well, what's to stop a team from faking an injury to stash a player? And I guess so, but if you have an injury report every week, there should be a way to monitor and legitimize injuries. I do understand that concept. You could abuse it by stashing players by putting them on IR. But I don't know, man. I just it just stands to reason if someone gets hurt and they're able to return, why shouldn't they be able to return? Real quick, I just saw this. And by the way, Phil Steele put out his projected order of finish in the SEC. Yesterday, we talked about his preseason All-American team. He has his projected order of finish. I want to talk about that in a second. We got to get Phil Steele on the show. Oh, you're not going to be here. We got to get Phil Steele on the show next week. Sam Spiegelman just posted this. LSU's got their elite camp going on right now, their Friday Night Lights. And Harlem Berry is out there. And Sam Spiegelman posted this video. 5-star running back Harlem Berry looking like 5-star receiver Harlem Berry. Double move, juke, and kaboom down the field. Go check it out on Twitter. He is going to be something special to watch in the purple and gold, man. As dynamic an athlete at the running back position. There have been running backs with better skill sets, guys that were bigger, that were stronger, that were faster, but the combination of all and the receiving ability is what makes Harlem Berry really, really exciting. So, be in Baton Rouge next year. Friday Night Lights going on over at LSU right now. And Bryce Underwood is out there as well. Shay just posted this video of Bryce Underwood out there working with Joe Sloan throwing the football. So while the Alabama fans celebrate their SMU flip, winning a pajamas and slippers competition against Air, Bryce Underwood said, yeah, I'm not going to go to 11-on-11. I'm going to come to Baton Rouge for Friday Night Lights with my future teammates and do some recruiting as well. Yeah, I'd say that's a big dub for LSU having Bryce Underwood on campus for this. So if you want to check out the video, it's on Shay Dixon's Twitter, at Shay Dixon on Twitter. Okay, y'all. It's After Further Review brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore, y'all. Got my bottle right here like I do every single day. I drink Evermore all day. I've completely made this change in my life. Feel great. I would strongly recommend go read some of their reviews on Google or on their Facebook page. And what you'll find is people giving testimonials. People saying that Evermore, again, these aren't medical claims that Evermore is making, but you can go read some of the claims that people, some of the testimonials that people have made, like it's helped with acid reflux. It's helped with heartburn. We've had people message us. A guy told us last week that he was, had a stomach bug, was, throwing up. He said this was the only thing that settled him and started to rehydrate him. It's a better form of hydration. It's natural artesian water, and it's a Louisiana product. If you're going to buy bottled water, which you should, don't buy something with additives in it, which read the labels. You'll see there's plenty that have it. And don't buy something from Texas or the little square bottle from a foreign country. Support a great Louisiana company, and it's natural artesian water out of an artesian well right there on the North Shore into this bottle right to your home. Buy it online at evermore.com, evermore.com, EVAMOR, evermore.com, or at great local retailers. It's Evermore. I love the 4-pack of 64. I'll take one of those with me all day. All right, it's After Further Review. So Phil Steele has put out his projected order of finish. Let's run through this. Fellas, feel free to weigh in if there's anything that stands out to you. I won't bury the lead. I wanted to do the top 5 as well. Man. I won't bury the lead. So Phil Steele has Georgia at 1, Texas at 2, Bama at 3, Ole Miss at 4. And then he's got a 4-way tie for 5th. He's got LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee in a 4-way tie for 5th place. A&M 9th, Florida 10th. I think, as we talk about often, the thing that is most interesting, and we all sort of roundly agree, Georgia, Texas 1-2. Who's next? Again, it's that combination of Bama, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, not Oklahoma, Tennessee, but like who's next in that clump of teams, because that's likely determining who's going to make the college football playoff after Georgia and Texas, provided they do. And I think Georgia has the roster and Texas has both the roster and the schedule to make it. But again, Bama, Ole Miss 3-4 maybe isn't necessarily a giant surprise if it plays out that way. LSU, Mizzou, Oklahoma, Tennessee, all in the tie for 5th, which means he's probably projecting them all to go 9-3. And seeing Oklahoma 9-3 is a surprise because their projected win total in Vegas is 7.5. The weird thing is, I know we've talked a lot about Oklahoma because that FPI thing kind of put this on my radar. I mean, I was thinking Oklahoma, losing Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, losing Jeff Lebby, your offensive coordinator. I know they got Jackson Arnold, stepping up to be the next quarterback there. Defense performed better last year under Brent Venables, and they went 10-2. But this is just a completely different animal stepping into the SEC, new OC, new quarterback. I mean, their schedule's brutal. Their projected win total 7.5 over/under. Essentially, Phil's saying not only they go over, they go way over. They're going to get to at least 9-3. So, Oklahoma to me remains the most fascinating team in the SEC this year because it feels like a real feast or famine year with a whole bunch of swing games for the Sooners year one of the SEC, and of course one of those is in Baton Rouge. Let's wrap up the regular season. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward, if that ends up being, and I think it will, LSU's new Thanksgiving tradition, I think that's phenomenal. It's a traditional power. That's something that could be a very meaningful game at the end of the season as well. And it'll be a fun trip, man. You get to go to Norman around Thanksgiving. The Sooners come to Baton Rouge. I think that'd be a fun way to wrap up the season if that's something that sticks. It just feels like it has way more impact, more appealing way to finish the season than Arkansas. And while the A&M thing is really cool, I totally understand why they're going to pair Texas and Texas A&M in that slot. It's what they should do, quite honestly. So LSU, Oklahoma, I like it. You got any takeaways? You got to turn the mic on.
I looked at the wrong fader there.
It doesn't work if you don't turn the mic.
I know, but when I looked down to make sure it was on, I saw one, but it was the one right next to it.
If you don't hit it, it won't come on.
That's true. I'm with you on the Oklahoma thing. That was going to be one thing that I brought up as well, just because of their win total being 7.5. Ole Miss, though, being behind Alabama surprised me, just quite honestly, because Ole Miss's schedule is what it is. And, I mean, I think if Ole Miss goes anything other than 10-2, that's a massive disappointment for them. And if they get past LSU on October 12th, they're going to be undefeated heading into a home matchup against Georgia. Like, there's a very real path for Ole Miss to 11-1, and if they go 11-1, they're going to have a chance to be in the SEC championship game, not just finish ahead of Alabama. So that, honestly, that surprised me.
Ole Miss does miss Alabama this year,
and they miss Alabama.
And so one of the things I was thinking is like, one of the things that I think is going to be very important for all of that conversation about after Georgia Texas is head to head. Because what if you do have two teams that are 10-2 and they played each other? Like, I think there's a scenario where LSU and Alabama could each be 10-2, and whichever won that game is the one that gets the nod ahead. I think that's something that could very well happen this year. But Ole Miss misses Bama. I think Ole Miss and LSU are in almost like mirrored spots. The tricky part about Ole Miss for the LSU game is, remember, LSU is off the week before Ole Miss comes here. Ole Miss is at South Carolina. So Ole Miss has back-to-back road conference games, and LSU's the second. And we'll dig deeper into those metrics, but because I know we did it last year. Historically, the odds, the number of times you see teams win back-to-back road games in conference is very small. So that's it's just a giant spot for LSU. It falls into place. And I think that's going to be the game that first week in October when LSU plays Ole Miss, or the second week in October, the 12th, where LSU's first game in October, where that's your playoff game right there. Like, if you lose that game, I don't know that I see a path to the playoff. If you beat Ole Miss and you're 6-0 to start the season, I think LSU will be a playoff team, however it shakes out.
That spot feels a lot like 2022, where Ole Miss came in, what were they, number 3 in the country, undefeated, but their schedule to that point wasn't much. LSU was a favorite in that game, and then,
I remember that one.
Them. But, doesn't it feel similar to that spot? It could set up that way.
Ole Miss people were not happy with me. I don't know if you were working on the show at the time.
Well, yeah, of course.
But I very boldly predicted on Monday that LSU was going to win that game and win it with ease. And Ole Miss people did not like that. And they all had to.
Unranked team over a ranked team.
I like that one, too. All right, it's AFR. We'll knock out our final break of the show. Come back, wrap it up next. Stay here.
AFR.
Had a great meeting earlier today over at Glow Resources. So impressive. And when you reach out, especially in their professional placement division, as for Cassie, she's so impressive. Had a long meeting with her today where we talked about everything that they do in the professional placement division. APAR, executive level assistants, assistant controllers, plant managers, scheduling assistants, basically any type of office job that you're looking to fill, accounting, HR, marketing, managerial, or supervisor roles, Glow Resources can help you find those people. Even hard to fill roles. Listen, if you own your company, if you're the vice president, if if you are the operations manager that handles hiring and you're having trouble finding the right people, Glow Resources can help. They'll tap into their network and find thousands around the country to choose from to find you the best candidate to fill your job. GLO, glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR. We are presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Appreciate very much our friends over at Don Juan. Been great partners of ours for such a long time. Fired up for the start of another college football season. T-Bob and I will be out at Don Juan Cigar Bar for whiskey and wine after every LSU game, except for Vegas. We'll be out in Vegas, so whiskey and wine will come to you live from the MGM Sportsbook inside of the Mandalay Bay. That's very likely where we're going to be for whiskey and wine, unless we find something else. But if we do, we'll let you know. But very much excited about it. We appreciate our friends over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Hey, one thing, Muse, a vacation next week. Where are you going?
We're going to the beach, man. We're going out to Destin.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll probably be drunk for 7 days. I will watch baseball. I will lay on the beach. I will eat good food. I will go play some golf. Okay. It's going to be a great week.
With who are you going to watch play baseball? I'll watch the College World Series?
I'll watch the College World Series finals, yeah. I love college baseball. I am rooting for the beers that I will be drinking to go down smoothly. That is my rooting interest, nothing else. I wish both teams could lose or a meteor hit the stadium, one of the two. Everybody survive, of course, just game not happen.
What about a global pandemic? That happened.
That could stop it too.
That ruined it.
I don't really want that again in my life. Not in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great to have some downtime.
Matt Miller and Jordan Reed over at ESPN.com. I'll need to spend more time on this next week. But they put out their top 5 for next year's draft at every position.
Mm-hmm.
Each put out their top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 offensive tackles, so on and so forth. Miller's top 5 quarterbacks: Carson Beck, Shadur Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Connor Wegman, Riley Leonard.
Yeah.
Jordan Reed's top 5 quarterbacks: Carson Beck, Shadur Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Riley Leonard, Jackson Dart. How about they all have the same top 3? Beck, Sanders, Ewers. Interesting. You know who's not on that list?
Garrett Nussmeier.
He is not. I did not anticipate he'd be on the list. Did you?
No.
Yeah. There's another notable omission there.
Jalen Milroe?
Jalen Milroe ain't on that list either. You gotta be kidding me.
Roll down tide.
You mean to tell me that a running back playing quarterback who threw for 116 yards in the Rose Bowl against Michigan should be a first-round draft pick quarterback? What are people talking about, Muse? That's insanity.
Preseason All-American.
Jalen Milroe is a great runner. He can throw the deep ball whenever he's upright, and there ain't no quarterbacks running with his guys because he's got better guys than everybody. Jalen Milroe got benched against South Florida. Jalen Milroe didn't do nothing against any of the good teams that he played. Jalen Milroe.
We're going to go with that now instead of Cincinnati.
Jalen Milroe. Enjoy your vacation. Love to all my new Bama fans. Have a good weekend.
AFR.
All right, we're getting on down the road. Reminder about Optimize. Y'all, it is time. There's already a tropical depression out in the Atlantic. Did y'all see that today? Storm season is here. There is an inevitability. Knock on Formica. I'm hoping we don't get any massive storm, but you want to be prepared for if and when we do. That's why you need to call Optimize. Optimize, they are the generator people. Listen, a Generac automatic home standby generator is a commodity. A lot of people sell the same product. So how do you decide who to hire? Well, Optimize, they are the generator people. All they do is sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators. So when you call Optimize, they've got inventory. Their technicians work on these generators all day, every day. They know the processes. It's Optimize. Go to generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology,